Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Naruto's secretly dating his stepsister. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments. I was dreaming an awesome dream, a dream that I don't want it to disappear. But a noise in my room made me wake up. I sat up on my bed looking at the intruder in my bedroom. Mama? I said, looking at her. "Oh, sorry sweetie," she apologized to me. "What are you doing in here?" I asked, rubbing my eye. "Sorry, Mama just wanted to see if you were still asleep," she said, kissing my forehead and tucking me back in my bed. "Okay," I said as I fell asleep again. I woke up hours later, and when I looked at the clock it was almost 11. I pulled the blankets off of me and went outside. My mom was talking to a blonde-haired man sitting in front of her, at the kitchen table. There was also a blonde kid sitting eating a bowl of ramen. "Mama?" I said, walking next to her. "Sakura dear, this is your new stepdad and brother, say hello." My mom picked me up from the ground and onto her lap. "Hi," I smiled, greeting him. He smiled back and greeted me back. "Hello there, you must be Sakura." "Yup, that's me. My name is Minato Namikaze, and as your mom said before, I'm your new stepfather, and this is Naruto, your new stepbrother. You and him are the same age, so I hope you can get along with him." I looked at the blonde kid sitting at the table finishing off his bowl of ramen. He had messy spiked blonde hair and had deep ocean blue eyes. I blushed as I noticed I was staring at him. "Hi, my name is Naruto. It's a pleasure to meet you, Sakura," he said with the biggest and nicest smile I have ever seen. "I hope we can get along." Normal POV, present time. Naruto's eyes slowly opened as the sunlight shines across his face. He groaned a bit and turned. He then noticed that something, or would I rather say someone, was snuggling against his chest. He turned to his side, facing his sleeping stepsister. Naruto sat up and blushed looking at her. "What is she doing on my bed?" Naruto thought, looking at the pink-haired teenager. "Sakura, wake up. You're in my bed, again," Naruto said, trying to wake her up. 5 more minutes, Naruto," Sakura mumbled in her sleep. "No, not 5 more minutes. You're sleeping on my bed and we have school," Naruto said, annoyed. "Fine then," Sakura said as she sat up and rubbed her eyes. Her long, beautiful pink hair sticking up everywhere and her shirt and short shorts messed up from sleeping. "It's not like you had a problem when I slept on your bed the other times," Sakura said, standing up and stretching. Naruto's face turned a bright pink and looked away from her. "Why did you sleep in my bed when your bed is right there?" Naruto asked, pointing to the empty bed next to his. Alright, I'm sorry," Sakura said and walked over to the bathroom. She shut the door and locked it, taking a shower. Naruto and Sakura have been sharing a room since they had become step-siblings. Their parents didn't bother changing their rooms since Sango and Minato felt bad about their marriage. They always thought that Naruto and Sakura would be a perfect couple, and if they got married and had kids, they would look cute. That's why they always tried to put them together and keep them together always and every day. Sure, it is wrong if brother and sisters date, but since they're step-siblings and not genetically related by blood, it's alright to date and or even get married. It just mattered if the parents approve, and Sango and Minato loved the idea for their children to date or even get married. Kiss X Sis anime rocked. Naruto and Sakura say it's disgusting for them to even think of them that way. But they both secretly like the idea. Naruto has loved Sakura since the first time he laid eyes on that cute girl. Her beautiful pink hair and gorgeous green eyes. But he held back since he knew it was wrong for a brother to like his sister. Sakura was also the same, she always liked Naruto since she met him. She also held back and acted if she didn't even like him. But won't that be changed soon? Winking face. Sakura and Naruto got ready and now were walking to their school. "Hey Sakura," Naruto said, looking at the still half-asleep girl next to him. "What?" Sakura asked, cranky. "Do you like Sasuke?" he asked, staring at her. "Sasuke? Sasuke Uchiha?" Sakura asked, rubbing her eye and looking at him. He nodded. Sakura was silent, thinking about it. "Yeah," Sakura said, nodding. Naruto stared at her face for a moment, then looking away. "TCH. Why like an quite cold heart Teme like him?" Naruto asked, growling. "Because, he's smart, hot, cool, and did I mention hot?" Naruto said, smiling. "Stupid Teme." Naruto grumbled under his breath so Sakura couldn't hear him while glaring at the ground. "So, who do you like?" "Oh, never mind. You're a playboy, so you have no girl you like." Sakura said, sticking her tongue out at her step-brother. Hinata? Naruto said, ignoring Sakura's comment. She looked at him in surprise. Hinata is the best girl I have so far. She's nice, beautiful, Naruto said and sighed. Sakura blinked, staring at him. So, Hinata was the target, Sakura flashed a friendly smile, trying to hide her jealousy. Okay, that's all I need to know, Sakura said, interrupting Naruto. She gritted her teeth and running inside the school. Naruto watched her run inside and clutched his fist. Sasuke, you asshole. You stole my Sakura. The step-siblings have entered the school and went to their homeroom classes. They were instantly abducted by their friends. Forehead. I heard that Sasuke was going to be joining this class, Ino said, holding her hands and practically sparkling. Really? Sakura asked as her face stretched into a grin. Yes. Ino smiled and squealed with her best friend. Naruto just watched them and glared. Damn it, that pretty boy is coming in our class now? What else could go wrong? Naruto asked himself, and Sasuke walked into the class. Naruto? Is something wrong? Hinata asked him. Naruto turned to her and flashed her his signature smile. No, everything is fine, Hinata. No need to worry, making her smile back. Hey Dobi, I see you're still with the girls, Sasuke said and smirked as he walked past the blonde-haired teen. Naruto just growled and glared at the walking boy. Hey Sakura, nice to see you again. Sasuke greeted her and sat down. Sakura smiled back and walked over to him. Naruto watched every move those two made. If Sasuke ever so touched Sakura, he would walk over to them and punch him for touching his precious sister. So far Sasuke and Sakura were just talking. While he watched them, Sasuke stood up and gave Sakura a hug, and that made Naruto snap. He walked over to him and pulled him off of Sakura. Naruto! Sakura yelled, surprised. Naruto's right hand was on Sakura's shoulder and the other on Sasuke's shoulder. Don't touch, Naruto told Sasuke, glaring at him. Sasuke just smirked and looked back at him. Naruto, what's your problem? Sakura asked him, pouting. I'm saving your life, he said as he grabbed her hand and walked away from Sasuke. Naruto ignored all the stares and questions as he dragged a protesting pink-haired teen out to the big oak tree in the back. Naruto, stop it and let me go. Sakura hissed, jerking her arm from his grip, but Atlas, he is much stronger than her. Naruto, she screamed, and he let her wrist go, facing the pink-haired girl. I don't like it, Naruto said. Sakura raised a brow, looking at him. I don't like it, he said, as he clutched his fist and lowered his head. What don't you like? Sakura asked him. Sasuke. You and Sasuke. I don't like it, Naruto shouted, making his words bunch up and make it hard to understand a word he has said. Sakura blinked and stared at him, then leaning closer to his face. Huh? She asked him. Stop hanging around with Teme, Naruto shouted, crossing his arms and his face red in anger and embarrassment. Who's Teme? Sakura asked him, also crossing her arms. Sasuke. Are you stupid? Who else would I call that? Naruto yelled, making Sakura frown and glare at her step-brother. What are you trying to prove here, Naruto? Sakura asked him, pissed off. I said I don't like it when you're around Sasuke. So stop hanging around with him, Naruto told her, making Sakura's face turn into a smirk. Are you jealous? Sakura asked him, smirking. Naruto's face turned bright pink, the same shade as Sakura's hair, and he smacked her head. You idiot, no way am I jealous, Naruto screamed, blushing furiously and looking away from Sakura. Ow! Sakura rubbed her head where Naruto had hit. You didn't have to hit me, she said as she rubbed the sore spot, and tears were in her eyes. Naruto noticed the tears and sighed. I'm sorry, Naruto pulled Sakura into a hug. I was just sorry, Naruto said as he kissed the spot where he had hit her, and Sakura blushed. Sakura pushed him away and looked at him. He looked back at her and raised a brow. Her face was also red. It's alright, she said as she ran back into the school. What the hell was that? She asked herself, putting her hand on the spot he kissed. Sakura entered her classroom and Naruto was already there, surrounded by girls. He was flirting with them. She felt a pull on her heart. What is this? Jealousy? No, it can't be, Sakura thought, and then she sighed and went back to Sasuke to apologize. Sasuke, I'm sorry about what happened earlier, Sakura said, looking at him. Oh, it's alright, Sakura. That blonde-haired idiot I'm used to, he smiled at her. Sakura smiled back, blushing a bit. Naruto growled silently and clutched his fist. How stupid is she? He asked himself as he watched them talk and laugh together. Nah, Naruto? A voice startled him. Yeah? Naruto grinned towards his favorite girl. Hinata, you seem spaced out. Are you okay? Hinata asked, putting a hand on his arms. Of course. Why wouldn't I be? Naruto asked, trying to laugh it off. Hinata raised a brow and stared at him. Hey, you know the weekend's coming up soon. Naruto started and Hinata nodded. Why don't we go out this weekend? I'll take you out somewhere good, he grinned. Hinata smiled and her face lit up like a Christmas tree. Sure. I'll definitely go, Hinata said. Great, then I'll see you in town center? Near that big pine tree they use as a Christmas tree every year. Naruto said and Hinata nodded in approval. Can't wait, Naruto, Hinata said as she hugged him. Naruto hugged her back, grinning. Sakura eyed the two hugging people. Hinata and Naruto. Yuck, she just wanted to walk over to them and rip them apart from each other. She cannot stand other people touch and kissing and cooing him with their own words. It drives her mad. She just wants to rip her hair out in frustration. She growled and jumped when she heard Sasuke talk. Sakura, are you alright? He asked her. Oh, Sasuke. Sorry about that, I was just thinking. She smiled at him. He smiled back. So about the weekend, he started. Yeah? Sakura asked. It's like 3 days away. Sasuke said, dragging it on. Sure is. Sakura said, putting her arms behind her back. And, do you have any plans for the weekend? He asked. Me? She pointed towards herself. He nodded. I don't think so. I might just go to the mall with Ino Pig over there. Sakura shrugged. Oh great then. Want to go out with me on this weekend? He smiled and made her blush. Really? She asked, startled by the question. Yeah, you don't have to if you don't want to. Sasuke said. No, I'll go. I'll super go. Sakura's eyes started to sparkle and shine. Great, it's a date. Sasuke stuck his hand out. Yeah, Sakura smiled and also shook his hand. While class started, school was like torture to Sakura and Naruto. It went on for hours and hours with the teacher talking about shit nobody cared about. It was now English class, the most boring class of the day. Their teacher was some white-haired man named Kakashi. He would always use an eye patch and scarf to cover his mouth, which all the girls thought was really cool and attractive. But there was one problem. He wouldn't teach any English. He would talk constantly about some erotic book series written by a Jiraiya seinen. So Sakura groaned as her teacher would talk about his favorite erotic book, and she set her head on her hand, looking outside the window. Lucky for her, she had the seat right next to the window with a great view. She was bored and she continued to look out the window, watching as the snow fell perfectly and how everything looked so bright. She started to daydream. She daydreamed on how her date with Sasuke will go. It'll start with him and her meeting and going on their date. He will buy her things she wants, then they'll maybe go out to eat. Then they end the date with a kiss, they go out, and eventually get married and have some kids. A perfect idea. She started to imagine the kiss. She was leaning and leaning, inching closer and closer to her true love. When she opened her eyes, shock filled her body. Blonde hair, big smile, that only meant, Naruto, she shrieked. Everyone looked towards her. She was blushing and breathing frantically while Naruto tapped her shoulder. She jumped and looked at him. What? Sakura asked. Why do you call my name? He asked her, and she blushed again. Miss Namikaze, is something wrong? Kakashi-sensei asked. She shook her head, no. I'm fine, I'm sorry. Sakura apologized and Kakashi went back on teaching. The hell? I dreamed of my true love, and why did Naruto pop up? While we were in class, one noticed that Sakura was spacing out. I watched her lean against her arm and looking out the window, staring at how the snow fell ever so slowly. Then she closed her eyes, smiling, and then I realized she screamed by name. Naruto. She shrieked and I freaked out. Well, not only me, everyone did, and even Sakura did by the looks of it. Miss Namikaze, is something wrong? The teacher asked. Sakura was stuttering and freaking out. Her face was also red. What is wrong with her? I'll try to talk with her after class. Sakura's POV. What the hell was that? Naruto? Why was he there instead of Sasuke? Isn't Sasuke the guy, the first love, not that stupid grinning freak? Oh god, what am I going to do? It cannot be Naruto. Okay Sakura, calm down. Calm down. It could just be your mind playing tricks on you. My face was burning and I could feel people's stares. I just ignored them looking out the window. I watched how the snow fell down one at a time and closed my eyes. Sasuke. Sasuke Uchiha is the guy the first like, the guy who is my date on Christmas Eve, and the guy who I will marry. Not Naruto, not my step-brother. The guy who is loud, stupid, troublemaker and the guy who is obnoxious. Never. That is messed up. Okay, Sakura, think about Sasuke, Christmas Eve, and the date. Anything except for him. Especially him. Class ended and I rushed out of the room and towards the bathroom. I need to chill and stay away from him. I washed my face with cold water and looked at myself in the mirror. My makeup was running a bit so I cleaned it. I put a fresh layer on and sighed. I need to get out of here sooner or later. I got out the bathroom and went to my next class. When I entered I saw Naruto and Sasuke fighting. Can't they take a break? It's like they're a married couple. Married? Couple? Kya. I need to calm down. Forget about it. I walked over to my seat and watched as Naruto and Sasuke fought. It made my face heat up and my heart beat fast. Naruto spotted me and walked over to me. I was freaking out as he stepped closer towards me. Sakura, are you okay? He asked. I was staring at him and blushing madly. Why does he have to be on my mind a lot lately? He put his forehead on my forehead and I blushed madly at what he was doing. In public, so I pushed him away. I'm fine, don't touch me, I said and he looked at me surprised. I never would think of shouting at him or slapping him like that. I felt bad and when I was about to apologize he flicked my forehead, ow. I yelped and held the spot he flicked. I looked at him with bits of tears in my eyes. What is wrong with you today, Sakura? Naruto asked me crossing his arms. I shook my head pushing him away from me. I don't need to explain myself to you. Leave me alone, blonde bastard. I mumbled and looked away blushing. He shrugged and smiled at me. Fine, stupid idiot. He smirked at me and ran off to his girls. That idiot, I just want to punch that stupid grin off his face. What is wrong with him? Mr. Hyuga, which just happened to be Hinata's dad and Neji's uncle, came inside and class started. I just know today will be a long day. Normal POV. The classes were going by slow for the Namakazes. Sakura still has been freaking out and Naruto was still flirting with his girls. When lunchtime has finally come the two siblings went to their lockers. Sakura and Naruto bumped into each other at their locker and Sakura groaned. Why does your locker always have to be next to mine? Your ugly face will scare the girls away. Naruto snickered. Sakura glared at him. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's just hope your stupidness won't chase the girls away. She snapped back and opened her locker door. Shut up. At least I can get girls, unlike you, you loner. Naruto smirked, also opening his locker. Oh? At least I'm not some playboy who goes out on a date every day with a different girl. Sakura shouted, grabbing her lunch. Naruto also grabbed his lunch and slammed his locker door. Hey, at least I can get someone. You can't since you're so ugly. You can only get that ducked butt-haired, cold-hearted, loner emo. Naruto snapped. Okay, I have to give you that he has duck butt hair, but he is not a cold-hearted or loner emo. He's as hot, nice, sweet, caring, and smart. All the things you seem to be lacking. Sakura shouted. Naruto face burned. He was mad and pissed. How dare she say all that to him? At least I'm not an airhead who just shouts somebody else's name all of a sudden. Naruto stopped right in front of her. Sakura planted her arms on her hips. At least I'm not some whiskered-faced fox-like person who cares more about girls than school. Sakura retorted. At least I'm good at sports. All you say is, "Aw. I broke a nail, Ino-chan." Naruto mimicked Sakura. At least I don't pick fights with everybody because he's jealous of them. Sasuke, fight me, Sakura said in a Naruto-like voice. Naruto glared at her and she glared back. Their faces both red and they were mad. Their friends were watching them bicker and they were worried. At least I'm strong unlike you. Girls like you are weak. Naruto pointed a finger towards her. Sorry if I offended anyone with the East line, but I thought it would fit in well to the story. Sakura snapped. Now Naruto's being East and Sakura hated when somebody did that, talking about how the other gender is better than the other. It's the same goddamn thing. Naruto you goddamn East asshole. She threw her lunch bag at his face. Naruto stumbled back and glared at her dangerously. What was that for? Naruto yelled, holding his head in pain. What is with you in being East? Girls and guys are the same. Boys can't be stronger than girls. Girls can be the same as guys. Sakura yelled, her face brick red. I can't stand you when you do that. Naruto, I hate you. I hate you and your family. I wish you never married into my family and never came into my life. Sakura screamed and ran away crying. You know what, I never liked you either. Naruto stomped away somewhere else. What are we going to do? Ino asked the others. I'll go after Sakura. Rock Lee said. I will too. Ino said. Count me in. Tenten said. And I'll go after Naruto, Kiba said. Me too. Hinata said. I'll go help and calm the idiot down. Neji sighed. Alright then, you guys go after Naruto and we'll go get Sakura, Ino said. They all nodded and ran where Naruto and Sakura ran off to. To Sakura. Sakura ran away somewhere with tears streaming down her face. The last thing she heard was, you know what, I never liked you either. That broke her heart and made her cry harder. She ran outside somewhere and ended up at the soccer field. She sat down on the bench and sobbed her eyes out. That idiot, I never liked him either. He's just an asshole and I will never like him, she thought, crying. Then she cried harder when she thought about him. Those words that pierced through her heart. You know what, I never liked you either. Those words kept on echoing in her head. Naruto, Naruto. Sakura sobbed, saying his name over and over again. Sakura, she heard and felt an arm on her shoulder. She looked up and saw Ino with Rock Lee and Tenten. You guys, Sakura said, looking at them. Hey Billboard Brow, are you alright? That fight back there was pretty intense. Ino pats her back. Sakura started to sob again. It's alright, Sakura. Let it all out. Rock Lee went to Sakura and rocked her back and forth. Sakura held onto Lee's shirt and cried. That goddamn Naruto. I'll crush his bones for making you cry like this. Ino glared at the school, putting a fist up in the air. Oh, I wonder what happened to Naruto. Tenten worried. To Naruto. Kiba, Neji, and Hinata walked down the hallways calling Naruto's name out. That boy just disappeared without a trace. Naruto, where are you? Tilda, Lee-sana called out. Hey, Foxface, get out here, Kiba shouted. Where the hell are you, Naruto? Get out here, Neji grunted. The three walked down further in the classrooms, checking and going to the next. Hinata spotted something blonde and so she ran down to see what it is. Kiba and Neji saw Hinata walking down the hall. Where you going, Hinata? Did you see him? Neji asked. Yeah, I think I saw him walking down that hall over there, she replied. Alright then, let's go, Kiba shouted, and they ran off to the direction Hinata saw Naruto in. Hinata opened a classroom and she looked at the blonde thing. Naruto. Hinata jumped on him and hugged him tightly. Foxface, there you are, Kiba said, looking at the mad Naruto on a desk with his head down. Fuck off. Leave me alone? Naruto muttered and buried his head in his arms. Hey, blonde, what is your problem? Kiba asked, poking his head. I said leave me alone. Naruto slapped his hand away and glared dangerously. Naruto, are you alright? Hinata frowned, putting a hand on his arm. No, just leave all of you. I need time for myself. Naruto jerked Hinata's hand off. Naruto, Hinata whimpered. I'm sorry, Hinata, it's just because of Sakura. She's just so annoying and I hate her so much when she's like that. Naruto ran his hands through his blonde locks, frustrated. Not really, Neji said. The three turned their heads and looked at the doorway. Neji was leaning back against the door with hands shoved in his pockets. What are you talking about? Naruto growled. I'm saying, you don't hate her, Neji said. Of course I hate her. I always did, and didn't you even hear what she said to me back there? Naruto asked, his voice low. I know, I was there. And she doesn't hate you either. Neji said, shrugging. You both don't hate each other, and I won't go any further since I might regret saying it later. He raised both his hands up to his side. Just saying. I know you don't hate her and I know she doesn't hate you either. Neji finished saying as he walked out the door. Also, he stopped walking, you should apologize. He said, and he was gone. Naruto glared at the ground. He knew what Neji said was true. He doesn't hate her. He was just mad at her. Hell, he loves her for God's sake. He can't stay mad or even hate her since she was the most precious thing he holds in his heart. Naruto, are you okay? Hinata asked him. Oh yeah, look, you and dog breath over there should just leave. I'll come back once I clear my mind. Okay? Naruto grinned at her and she smiled back. Okay, Let's go Kiba. Hinata grabbed his arm and he blushed slightly. Okay and whiskers. Kiba called out for Naruto, and Naruto glared at him. The next time you make Sakura cry that hard I'll pound ya. Cause she's my friend too ya know and I don't like seeing my friends cry like that. TCH, whatever. She's my stepsister and I can do whatever I like. Naruto mumbled and crossed his arms. Now, how will I make it up to her? Naruto asked himself, thinking really hard. Back to Sakura. Kiba, Neji, and Hinata left to go find Sakura afterwards. Ino and the others haven't returned yet, so they went looking for them. They soon found them still at the soccer fields with Sakura's eyes red and puffy. Sakura. Hinata ran to her. Hey, Hinata? Sakura said. Are you okay? Hinata asked the pinkhead in front of her. Why, yeah, I'm okay. This is normal, she said, standing up. Normal? You called that normal? Kiba asked. Well, a little bit? Sakura made a small space with her fingers. Kiba looked at her with raised eyebrows. Alright, as fighting is normal but all the yelling and that horrible things we said is not. Sakura sniffled again. I was so wrong. I don't hate him, he's my brother. She started to cry again. It's okay, Neji said. Sakura looked at him. He doesn't hate you. He ruffled her hair. Sakura fixed her hair, whipping her tears away. How do you know? Sakura asked. Well, you see, my eyes are special. Y'all, let's say special. I can see things others don't. Neji shrugged. Sakura frowned, looking at him. What does that mean? Well, just know he doesn't hate you. He never did and never will. That's as far as I'm saying. Neji said and started to walk away. Wait, what does that mean? Sakura called out. Figure it out yourself. You're a smart girl, aren't you? Neji waved and disappeared. What does that mean? Sakura asked in a low voice only for her to hear. Forehead, let's get you inside. Ino grabbed her arm. Ino, Sakura mumbled. She smiled at her and pulled her inside the school. He hates me. No, he doesn't. Well, Neji said he didn't. Forehead, earth to forehead. Ino shouted. Huh? What? I suddenly snapped out of her thoughts. You blanked out on us for a minute there, she said. Oh sorry, I was just thinking. I trailed off, going back into my own little world in her head. Billboard brow. Ino shouted once again. Huh? What? Oh sorry, I did it again, didn't I? I blushed. Yeah, so as I was saying, what's going on between you and Naruto? She asked. I started to blush at the mention of his name, and nothing. I'm going out with Sasuke, remember I even have a date with him this weekend. I said, regretting the decision. Wait, why am I regretting saying yes to Sasuke? I mean, he's the hottest and coolest boy in school? So why? Just then Sasuke walked up to the girls. Hey Sakura, he said in a monotone voice, I'm looking forward to our date tonight. Sorry, but I think I'm going to cancel on our date today. I blurted out. Sasuke was shocked, and that was just scratching the surface. He knew Sakura liked him since they were still in preschool. So why would she reject him now? Sasuke got embarrassed and stormed out of the mall. Forehead, you actually stood him up, Ino said in shock. Yeah, I guess I did. I said, not believing what I just did. It came out of nowhere. My mouth just moved on its own. Does this have to do something with Naruto? Was it because of him? I did see him, when I dreamed of my dream guy. Oh no. What's wrong with me? He's my brother, for God's sakes. My step-brother. Normal POV. It was about 6 p.m. and Sakura was getting hungry, so before Naruto got home she thought she would be nice and cook him dinner. She was just beginning to cook when Naruto came home. You're cooking? Naruto asked when he walked into the kitchen. Don't look so shocked. Just because I don't cook doesn't mean I can't. She said. I did take home EC. For 1 semester, wasn't it? What exactly did you learn in that short amount of time? He asked. How to poison you. Sakura answered sarcastically. Killing me will have to wait, cause I'm going out for dinner today. He said with a big grin on his face. Want company? I'm all for you buying me dinner. She smirked. Not this time. I won't be alone. Naruto said, grinning, knowing it'll make her jealous. Why? You've got a date? She asked once she realized what he meant. Her heart sank as she realized that Naruto had a date. She cancelled her date with Sasuke just to be with him, but he had to go out on a date. Sakura was feeling mixed emotions right now. Yup, if you have a date, why are you here? To change, I just finished playing soccer with Kiba and some other guys. So, who is it this time? Laura? Stephanie? Hinata? Sakura had a gut feeling she knew who it was. Hinata? Flashback. So, who do you like? Oh, never mind. You're a playboy so you have no girl you like. Sakura said, sticking her tongue out at her step-brother. Hinata? Naruto said, ignoring Sakura's comment. She looked at him in surprise. Hinata is the best girl I have so far. She's nice, beautiful, Naruto said and sighed. Sakura blinked, staring at him. So, Hinata was the target, Sakura flashed a friendly smile, trying to hide her jealousy. Okay, that's all I need to know, Sakura said, interrupting Naruto. She gritted her teeth and running inside the school. Flashback ends. Nope, sorry, not telling you, he said as he grabbed a water bottle and went to his room and changed. He grabbed a bottle of water from the refrigerator and left. So much for cooking him dinner, she thought. So Naruto wouldn't question why she wasn't cooking anymore. Sakura took what she had and turned it into a quick, simple meal. Through it all, she couldn't help but to wonder about the woman he was going out with. Was it really Hinata? She felt like pulling out her hair in frustration and then curl up in a ball and cry her eyes out. After she cleaned up, Sakura decided to watch some TV for a little while. She had just sat down on the couch when the doorbell rang. Naruto, door, she yelled. There was no way she was getting off the soft, comfortable sofa just to open the door. Naruto came out of his room and went to open the door. Hinata, I thought we were supposed to meet at the restaurant? Really? I must have misunderstood. Sakura, who was sitting on the sofa, heard everything and stifled a laugh. Misunderstood my ass. Come in, Naruto said as he stepped aside to let her in. I'll be finished dressing in a few minutes. Hinata went in and sat on the couch while Naruto went back to his room to finish changing. After about 10 minutes Naruto was done changing. Hinata held onto Naruto's arm, and Naruto started to blush as he noticed that his arm was against Hinata's breast. Sakura thought it was just disgusting. Even though her and Hinata were friends, she still wanted to kill her for clinging onto Naruto like that. Bye Sakura, see you later, Naruto said. Yeah, bye Sakura. Hinata also said goodbye. Bye, have fun on your date, Sakura said with a hint of jealousy in her voice. Sakura heard the lock click and it suddenly got quiet. She sat the remote on the table and sighed. For some strange reason the quiet was unnerving her. And on top of that, her stomach was beginning to feel funny again. With jealousy, a voice mocked in her head. I'm not jealous of her. Hee, I was referring to the fact that even the devil has got a date. No one mentioned her. I can't believe I'm arguing with myself. Forget jealousy. I'm insane. She groaned to herself and then went back to watch television to occupy her mind. Naruto had just finished with his date and it was an okay one. He couldn't help but think about Sakura throughout his whole date. He didn't know why, but after he dropped Hinata home he went straight home. There was a huge thunderstorm and he couldn't help but to worry about Sakura. He knew that she was most scared of thunder, so Naruto hurried home. As Naruto got home he unlocked the door and went in the house. Bang! There was another huge thunder. Naruto went to their room to check up on Sakura. He opened the door. Sakura, are you still awake? He whispered. There was no answer. Naruto quietly walked into the room and closed the door and bang. Once again there was another thunder. As the thunder struck, it lit up the room and he saw Sakura in the fetal position on her bed. Sakura, are you okay? He asked her as he walked towards her bed, sitting down beside her and wrapping his arms around her to comfort her. Nah, Naruto, I'm scared, she said fearfully. It's okay Sakura, I'll always be here for you, he stroked her hair. Sakura pushed Naruto away. No you won't, you have Hinata? And soon, you'll leave me, she burst into tears. Naruto used his hands to cup her cheeks and lift her face up. No Sakura, you're wrong. I dumped Hinata. The person I love, is you. Naruto put his lips on her, and they kissed passionately. Normal POV. Italics, Sakura's thoughts. What is going on? Is he kissing me for real? Sakura's eyes remained wide open, staring at the boy's face. His eyes were closed and she tried hard to realize what was now happening. He really is kissing me. Sakura, whose mood was gloomy and frightened just a few seconds ago, slowly started feeling all these dark thoughts going away, her light-hearted side slowly coming back to her. Her cheeks had gotten a light pink color. Sakura, what the hell are you doing? Stop him now. He probably has no clue what kissing even means. She was about to push him away when Naruto broke from the kiss, his hands still cupping her smooth face, his eyes looking into hers sternly. Don't worry. I'll never leave you. Sakura stared at his face, her mouth opened as she tried to reply something to him but no words would come out. I'm going to lose my mind if I lose you, she softly admitted as she hugged him. His face in her muscular chest. So please, please, don't date Hinata or any other girl ever again. She finished in a sad and begging tone. They stayed like this for a little while. A soft, Naruto, came out of her lips. Slowly she brought her hands up, touching his arms that were around her head, and Naruto released her and moved back, looking at her face again. Sakura, who was still holding his arms, looked up at him. She'd never seen him like this. He was always hitting on other girls and never really paid much attention to her romantically, give or take when he was joking around. Yet now he had just spat out how he felt towards her. Why have I been so stupid? How could I not see he's always been here for me when I needed him? Analyzing her own thoughts, she looked back at the past, remembering all the times he had helped her, comforted her, worried and cared for her. She wondered how long it's been since she started to be so fond of him. I'm sorry for worrying you, he said, looking in her eyes, a small, genuine smile on his lips as he tried to comfort and assure her. Hope filled Sakura's eyes and he spoke again. I'll make sure to always be with you. I want to, he insisted, passion in his eyes, so please, stay with me. He finished his sentence, looking away and blushing a bit. He's so cute when he blushes. Sakura tried hard to swallow a giggle and found herself also blushing at her thought. He had such a unique way of doing things, it was just all Naruto-like. She always admired him as he appeared so brave, strong and confident. Yet he too had a very sweet side, but it wasn't just this that made Sakura feel so drawn to him. It was this man's optimistic and assertive personality as well as his bright smile that he could so easily transmit to her that made her heart flutter every time she was with him. How could she not love someone like him? Love? My step-brother. I know you will, she finally replied to him, you always have. She finished and felt her heart beating loudly, wondering if Naruto could actually hear it. Without thinking much, she slowly grabbed Naruto's shirt, leaned on him as she reached to his lips and kissed him. It was Naruto's turn to feel surprised and his cheeks became redder at her initiative, but he didn't waste any time. Closing his eyes, he gave in to her kiss, hugging her close to him. Naruto felt her lips hot on his and he felt as if he was melting to it. And her scent, he realized how much she liked the way he smelled. It felt like home. Sakura was also thinking the same. His scent was something she always liked. It was one of the reasons she enjoyed sleeping in his bed, but she'd never tell him that before. He'd probably freak out. Naruto continued to kiss her, his hands caressed her back and waist and he slowly felt his body heat getting higher than usual. The pool of magma in his stomach was starting to feel like a boiling volcano and goosebumps started to take over his body. Giving in to his feelings and instincts started to nibble of her lower lips asking for entrance. Sakura gladly accepted and he pushed his hot tongue in her mouth and started to massage her own. Sakura was a bit surprised, but she found herself unable to stop him. It would be a lie if she said she didn't enjoy it, and her own body betrayed her as soft moans that started to escape from her lips, shivering. At her reactions, Naruto's breath hitched and he felt his chest rising up and down harder than before as his feelings caused him to softly pant. He couldn't take it anymore. Roughly grabbing with one hand her slim waist and her thigh with his other one, he pushed her on the bed. She felt so soft and fragile in his hands. He was afraid he was maybe too rough with her, but he could no longer stop himself. Sakura on the other hand didn't think it was rough at all. Completely enjoying herself, she spread her legs and brought him closer to her body, almost rubbing herself on him. At that, Naruto grabbed her thighs and locked them behind his back in an attempt to fully press himself on her. Finally leaving her pink lips that begged for more, he trailed her neck and collarbone with hot, wet kisses. He brought a hand beneath her white night dress and caressed her back and hips, and all Sakura could do was breathe deep in and out as she closed her eyes. I'm going crazy, yet I can't bring myself to stop him. Naruto, she sighed, her mouth open as she panted and her hands came to rest on his strong arms, feeling the muscles beneath his hot skin. Naruto's insides were literally burning. A blazing fire was growing fast in him, his lusts taking over. He wanted to hear her moan his name again and again. Reaching behind her back, he slowly unzipped her night dress and started to kiss her revealed cleavage that was held firmly by her pink bra. Her skin was so soft and he could feel her heartbeat from her chest loud in his ears as she panted loudly. Naruto, she sighed again, arching her back, her voice more eager and begging than before. She fisted her hands in his pink hair in an attempt to control herself. He wanted her so badly, all to himself. Naruto's lips came back to her own for one more passionate kiss before he broke it again. Resting his forehead on hers, he closed his eyes and tried to calm down as his breathing that came out fast and irregular. Sakura looked at him with half-closed eyes, trying to catch her breath as well. "Should we stop?" she asked hesitant. "I mean, we are siblings?" Sakura looked away blushing. "It's too late for that," came Naruto's reply in pants. Looking up in her beautiful face he spoke again. "Besides, we're step-siblings," he finished in lust-filled eyes and voice. Sakura shivered, and with that Naruto suddenly both her and Naruto were fully naked, earning a kya from her as he set himself on top of her. The next morning, to Sakura sighed and tried to pull the pillow she was hugging closer her. Hands down, it was the most comfortable pillow that she ever had. And it didn't hurt that it smelled good too. For a brief second it seemed like the pillow was moving away from her, but she was so relaxed that she didn't really acknowledge that fact. So instead of continuing to pull it closer to her, she just snuggled closer and wrapped her leg around it. To Naruto's eyes began to open as he felt the sunlight hitting his face. He smelled something in the air. It smelled like strawberries and cherry blossoms. Wait a minute, cherry blossoms? He looked at my bed and saw her. She looked peacefully as she slept, and she had a smile on her face. Still half asleep and not remembering what happened yesterday, she's sleeping on my bed again. As Sakura started to move around and snuggle against him, he felt something. Something against his arm. He slowly turned his head to see that she was completely naked. And his arm were in between her breast. How the hell did this happen? I can't remember what happened last night, he thought. Naruto tried to move away from her so they would not be caught in this weird position, froze when Sakura threw her leg across his stomach. He couldn't help but to wonder how she slept comfortably like that. He wanted to avoid any embarrassing conversations about why they were laying the way they were, so he gently tried to push her leg away. Unfortunately, that just caused Sakura to hold on tighter. Who knew she'd has vice grips for legs, he thought miserably. Maybe if I don't move for a second she'll let go. Just as he thought it, Sakura lowered her leg so that it rested between his legs. "Get her off now," a voice inside screamed, "otherwise you'll really have something to be embarrassed about." Naruto thought. This time Naruto grabbed her leg and lifted it off of him. If he woke her up, then he'd deal with it. Sakura reached out for him, but he quickly moved out of her reach. He thought she was going to wake up, but instead she groaned and curled up into a ball. "Thank God she sleeps like the dead," he said with a sigh of relief. Naruto then got out of bed and pulled the covers up over her, and for some reason it hit him. He had just slept with his stepsister, well, he thought he did anyways. Naruto started to pace back and forth thinking about what exactly happened last night. Back to Sakura. As soon as she heard the sound of feet moving around, she woke up. Sakura rubbed her eyes and saw Naruto moving around. "Wait a minute, how'd I?" Then I got my answer. Naruto was naked and he was moving in circles. "Naruto." Sakura tried to call out to him, but he still was pacing around. "Naruto." Her voice got a bit louder, and yet he didn't pay attention. "Naruto." She yelled and saw him stop and look at me with a nervous look. Hi Sakura." He waved to me, and Sakura arched her brow, and her eyes caught something pink. "Naruto, how did my..." Then she looked down at her body, and she was naked, and right in front of him. "Don't look," Sakura screamed, embarrassed, blushing. He closed his eyes, and Sakura took the blanket and wrapped it around her body. "Okay, you can look now," she said. Naruto opened his eyes, his cerulean eyes shimmering in the sunlight. Sakura began to feel my cheek getting warm. Sakura began to examine his body. It was perfect, perfect abs, perfect six-pack and tan, and then she saw his. "Well, you know what she's talking about." Sakura?" Sakura snapped out of my trance and threw a pillow at his face. "OWW, Sakura, what was that about?" he asked. "Idiot, you slept with me." She saw him rub the side of his cheek. "Yeah, I did," he replied. Sakura got up off the bed, now not as embarrassed as before, and hugged him. "So Naruto, yes?" Sakura looked up at him. "Did you mean what you said yesterday?" Naruto looked down to see his stepsister's beautiful glowing green eyes and couldn't prevent his heart from melting at the sight of her beauty. "Of course," he said and kissed her passionately on the lips. After a few minutes, which seemed like an eternity, they separated as they had ran out of breath. "So Sakura, will you be my girlfriend?" Naruto asked in gasps. "Of course. Naruto, you baka," she replied also in gasp, and with that she grabbed onto his shirt and tippy-toed so she could reach his lips, and once again they kissed passionately. Hours had passed since they had their morning fun, and it was now around 1 p.m. "Sakura," I turned away and blushed, as Naruto came towards me. "Hey, what are you doing?" "Just thinking," I started to blush as he wrapped his arms around my waist and he nuzzled my neck. His warm breath was tickling me. "I was thinking if you want to go out," he said. No. I squirmed out of his grasp and started to walk away from him but let out a small shriek as he pinned me against the wall with my arms above my head. And then he smirked. A smirking Naruto always equaled trouble. "Really?" My breathing hitched as he started to nibble my ear. I couldn't help but let out a moan. I whimpered as he stroked my thigh. "Naruto, stop." He got off me and I saw a tint of pink on his cheek. Wait, Naruto actually blushed? "Aw, how cute. Sorry about that, Sakura, I kind of lost control." I couldn't help but smile at his honesty. I placed a warm hand on his cheek. "It's alright, Naruto, I know you wouldn't do it again." He smiled at me and I couldn't help but blush. I felt Naruto grabbing my hand and headed towards the bathroom. "Come on, Sakura, I'm getting hungry, let's go eat out, I want to go around town." "Okay, fine," I sighed and the both of us went to get ready. After about 30 minutes or so, the two of us walked out of the house and walked to his car. "So where are we going?" Surprise, he winks at me and again I blushed. I fell asleep as he drove, then something shook me softly. I opened my eyes slowly and looked directly at Naruto. "We're here." The two of us get out of his car and I couldn't help but look at the entrance of the restaurant. We both entered inside and were brought to our seats. The two of us really enjoyed our afternoon together and I couldn't help but laugh at some of Naruto's jokes. "So Sakura, what do you want to do after high school?" he asked. "Well, I want to be a doctor, it's always been a dream of mine to help people. It all happened during the time where my dad was abusive and always hurt me." Tears came out of my eyes. Naruto scooted over and brought me into a hug. "It's okay, Sakura, you'll never experience that again. I'll always be here to protect you," he said with a big smile, which I couldn't help but to smile also. "So what were you saying?" "Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah. Well, I would always go to my family doctor and I would always see her helping others. Being useful to other. I wanted to be like her, just like Dr. Tsunade." I finished off with Naruto's infectious smile. I blushed as he grabbed my hands. "You'll be the best doctor, believe it." I just couldn't help but blush. After lunch the two of us walked around town. I ended up buying some gifts. As we passed along something caught my eye. I quickly ran and headed to the window of a jewelry store. My eyes widened at the most beautiful ring I ever saw. It was an engagement ring. It had a big diamond and surrounding it were multiple pink diamonds shaped as small cherry blossoms and a silver band attached to it. It was absolutely gorgeous. Naruto's POV. I noticed that Sakura was looking at the window of a jewelry store. She looked so interested in the ring. I then knew that I would buy it for her and ask her to marry me someday. "Having fun?" I asked and she let out a small shriek and blushed. "Don't do that, Naruto," I laughed as I playfully smacked her arm. "I hate it when you sneak up on me. But it's so funny to see you get scared." She glared at me and I couldn't help but laugh a bit. I wrapped my arms around her. "But you're cute as well." Sakura couldn't help but blush. My nose touched hers and I placed my lips upon hers. My tongue had entered her mouth and growled a bit as she kissed back. After a while the two of us broke apart. Then she playfully smacked my shoulder. "Naruto, not in public. I mean, what if someone sees us? I mean, people know that we are brother and sister." "But Sakura, we're a couple." I whined a bit and buried my face in the crook of her neck. I felt her shiver a bit. "Naruto, don't do something like this in public, save it for the bedroom or something." I grinned and brought my lips to her ear. "So can we go to the bedroom now?" "No," I fake pouted as she walked ahead. We walked for a couple more minutes and then we pasted by a cruise office. "Hey Sakura, I was thinking, why don't we go on a cruise to somewhere warm since the winter break is coming up and all?" I blushed as I pictured Sakura in a bikini. Looking forward to that. I could feel some blood run down my nose, so I quickly wiped it before she saw it. "Yeah, sure, it sounds fun," she said excitedly. "Yup, just the two of us too," I said as I hugged her from behind. Sakura couldn't help but blush. "Just the two of us, but what about mom or dad? Aren't they coming with us?" she stuttered. "Nope," I smiled, "just the two of us." "Oh, okay then," her blush deepened. Normal POV. Sakura and Naruto went into the office and Naruto managed to get them a good deal on the cruise. Sakura was so happy a big smile appeared on her face. After getting the tickets they went home. As arrived home and they went and told their mom and dad about the cruise and they were really supportive about all of this. "So you guys are going on winter vacation, right?" Minato asked. "Yup, in a week," Sakura said smiling. "So can Wade go please?" Naruto begged. "Of course you can go," said Minato. "Have fun sweetie," Sango said as she kissed Sakura. "Thanks mom." "Thanks dad," Naruto and Sakura said at the same time. Sakura's POV. I opened the door to our door and noticed that he was already sleeping and I couldn't help but blush at how handsome he looked when he fell asleep. "Pervert," I heard a voice. "What did you just say?" One of his eyes opened and he looked at me. I said, "Pervert. Only perverts watch people sleeping," and then came the smirk. I blushed. "Baka." I grabbed the pillow he had his head rested on and whacked it at him. I squealed as he pulled me in. He was on top of me and of course I was on the bottom. "Let me go, Naruto." "No, besides I prefer it when you try to fight me." Before I could speak I felt him place his lips upon mine. I kissed back and wrapped my arms around his neck and my legs were wrapped around his waist. I heard him growl as I grinded my lower part against his. "Hey, if you two are going to have at least close the door." The two of us blushed as Minato, my step-dad, was leaning against the doorframe with a bored expression. "Aw, come on dad." I watched Naruto throw a pillow at our dad, but he already left when he closed the door. Then Naruto looked at me. Now where were we? Normal POV. Sango groaned as she heard Naruto's growl and Sakura's moans. "Remind me to ground them." The elder pinkhead head pressed her pillow against her ears. Minato laughed. "Remember when we were like that?" Minato said with a perverted look on his face. "You're not thinking what I think. Why?" Sango said, blushing as she was interrupted by Minato's lips crashing onto hers. Sakura's POV. I woke up feeling a bit sore. Last night we went all out, and man, Naruto really sure knows how to please a woman. I remembered today we had school, so I decided to wake up Naruto. "No, that's my ramen. I never knew he talks in his sleep. Hey Teme, give that back." "Yes, I said miso, not beef, idiot." I giggled lightly. Naruto was sure funny when he sleeps talk. Though what he said next surprised me. "Pervert," he mutters. "Who's a pervert?" I asked, trying to play along. I squeal as he pulled me to the bed and of course landed in the same position as we did last night. "You're the pervert watching me sleep like that." He didn't smirk this time, instead he smiled. "Now what can I help you with, my little kitten?" I giggled as he nuzzled my neck. "We have school today, remember?" I hear him groan. "Oh, it won't be that bad. I rather stay home and he trailed off. I couldn't help but roll my eyes. "Is that all you think about?" He nodded against my neck. After a while of trying to make Naruto stop getting what he wants, and I mean he wanted to have morning, we finally came downstairs. I spotted my mom exhausted, looking grumpier than ever. "What's up with you?" I asked. "I couldn't sleep because of somebody," Sango yelled at a certain blonde-haired man. "What?" Minato asked as he put his newspaper down and blushed a bit. "Well, that wasn't the only reason." A smirk appeared on his face. "Oh yeah, and you too. I also couldn't get any sleep with the two of you going at it like rabbits in heat." I blushed at what she said. What my own mom said. Were we really that loud last night? Well, it's not my fault Sakura is a screamer. I glared at Naruto, betrayed by my own boyfriend. "I think you two should get an apartment," Minato suggested as he continued to read the newspaper. "Good idea dad, now Sakura and I can be as loud as we can," Naruto said, and I blushed again. "Naruto, you pervert." Before I could get angry he kissed me. I pushed him off of me. "Let's go to school Naruto." I could see he was a bit disappointed since I had to stop our little good morning ritual. I knew that Naruto always loved to give me good morning kisses ever since we got together. I felt nervous as we came to school. What would everyone think if we were together? Would my friends still like me for me? I mean, I am dating my step-brother. Would they think it's weird and not be my friend or something? I just hope that doesn't happen. Nervous, Naruto asked and I nodded but felt relaxed as Naruto held my hand. I'm here for you, I always will be. He kissed the tip of my nose causing me to giggle. Let's go. As soon as we stepped out of the car, Naruto wrapped his arm around my waist. A lot of students were beginning to talk as we walked towards the school building. I knew what they were whispering about. It had to be us, the incest couple. But technically we aren't related by blood, so it's okay, I guess. Then I was snapped out of my thoughts by a similar voice, Sakura. I turned around and looked at who had called me. As soon as I turned around my eyes widened. I quickly shoved Naruto back in the car. Right now Ino didn't need to know that Naruto was my boyfriend. Sakura, there you are. I gave a nervous smile to my blonde friend. So how was your weekend? Spending it all alone because you did cancel with Sasuke and all. It was pretty interesting. I trailed off. Interesting as in having with my step-brother and not to mention that he's my boyfriend now as well. Sakura, are you okay? Earth to Sakura. It took 3 blinks to figure out Ino was waving her hand right in front of my face. Are you alright? I'm fine, perfectly fine. I let out a nervous laugh while rubbing the back of my head. How about we go inside? I let out a sigh as Ino and the others went ahead. Before I could catch something pulled me back. Sakura, what the hell was that for? I turned around to see Naruto looking at me. Well, should I just lie to him? Probably not the best idea since he would find out anyways. Well, it's better if I just say the truth anyways. It's just that I didn't want them to know about us. He raised an eyebrow at me. Naruto, I don't want them to find out because we are siblings. Step-siblings, Naruto retorted. Yeah, well, I still don't want them to find out about us. Okay, fine then, I won't tell anyone. He sighed and I gave him a kiss cheek then ran after Ino. Naruto's POV. I sighed silently as I entered my physics class. One was a bit upset that Sakura wanted to keep our relationship a secret. I guess she wants the right time to tell them, but damn it, I just wanted all the guys to know that Sakura was mine. Yo, Naruto, are you alright? I looked up to see one of my classmates looking at me. I'm fine, I simply answered. Are you sure because you just pounded onto the table a while ago? I looked down to see small dents on the table. I sighed. Damn it, I need to learn to control my emotions a bit better. Yeah, I'm fine. I rubbed my forehead. As soon physics ended I walked to my next class, history. Oh joy. As soon as the teacher began to start her lecture I looked at the window. My next class was English and that meant I could see Sakura. Oh thank God. Right now I wish this class could speed up a bit. Well, it's not my fault the teacher is so boring. After what seemed like tortuous hours, history was finally done and I could finally see Sakura next class. My insides were jumping. Honestly, I never thought I could ever be this happy, though I'd be happier if we could let her friends know about us. I spotted Sakura already seated down. A smirk came upon my face and I quietly walked behind her. Boo! I heard her let out a small yelp and glared at me. I couldn't help but chuckle. I'm sorry, Sakura. Before I could kiss her, she gently pushed me away. Hey, what was that for? Naruto, aren't you forgetting something? But you said to keep it from your friends. I watched her shake her head. Naruto, if our classmates find out then they will too. I couldn't help but frown. She had a point. Alright, but you owe me. I smiled as she giggled. Of course, I quickly sat down before all the other classmates entered. I couldn't help but look at Sakura during English. It's not my fault, she's the most beautiful thing ever created. I had the urge to play with her hair and kiss those luscious lips. I wanted to talk to her but I knew that our English teacher wouldn't let us talk, so I decided to talk with her on a piece of paper. So of course we had to be careful with Kakashi. As soon as Kakashi began to teach I quickly scribbled down on a piece of paper and passed on Sakura's desk. Sakura's POV. I looked down what Naruto wrote. Naruto. Just by looking at you I'm already turned on. Sakura. What do you want to have now? We're in class, Baka. Naruto. Well, it's not my fault you look so fine and besides we can always go to the washroom, winking face. Sakura. Naruto, wait till we get home. Naruto. But I can't, it's hurting me really bad. Sad face. Sakura. It's not my fault you have bad control on your hormones. Naruto. They can't control themselves in the presence of someone so hot and why? Winking face. I blushed as he gave me on why smirk. Sakura. You are such a pervert. Naruto. A hot one too. I rolled my eyes before I could pass the note back to Naruto. Kakashi-sensei grabbed the note. I would like to see the both of you after class. The both of us groaned. After class had ended we stayed in our seats and Kakashi-sensei looked at us and waved the piece of paper. Mind telling me what brought this conversation up? Especially one that involves a matured theme. It's not my fault Sakura is hot, I blushed at Naruto's comment. As expected from a playboy, he said. Naruto's POV. So what's this message all about then? Kakashi-sensei asked. We're going out to be more specific. I answered Sakura's was going to get angry at me. Naruto, you promised you wouldn't tell anyone. She yelled. Yup, I knew it, she did. Sakura, please. Kakashi's one of the few I trust, was a student of our dad, you know. I see her frown in response. I'm sure you won't tell, right Kakashi? Kakashi just shakes her head. You know it will cause problems for you in the future. I know that Kakashi-sensei, but Sakura means the world to me right now. Sakura's POV. I gasped at what he had said. I'd die if anything bad happened to Sakura. Naruto said, and I cried and immediately hugged Naruto, which caused us to fall on the floor. Sakura, are you okay? He asked. I'm fine, I wiped a lone tear. It's just what you said makes me feel like I don't deserve you. Sakura, it's me who doesn't deserve someone as beautiful as you. The two of yous kissed, I moaned as he stroked my back. The two of us separated as we heard a coughing nose. We blushed as Kakashi-sensei looked at us. Even though the both of you are my students, I appreciate it if you didn't do such adult things in my classroom. Now get to class, the both of you. He stated. I glared at Naruto as soon as he began to laugh. That wasn't funny, Naruto. He was still laughing. I'm sorry, Sakura. I was just happy that there was barely anyone in the hallway. I yelped as someone pinned me to the wall and moaned as Naruto had begun to kiss me. I buried my fingers in his hair, causing him to growl. How about lunch? I asked Naruto and he smiled at me. Alright. Naruto grabbed my hand and led me to the cafeteria. Naruto, wait, I said, and he stopped and looked at me. We can't be seen together, I'll go in first and you go the other way. He groaned. Alright, fine. I smiled and gave Naruto a quick kiss on the lip and entered the cafeteria. Sakura, I spotted Sasuke waving to me and I headed towards the table. So how was your weekend? It was interesting, I answered. Oh come on Sakura, you had to at least do something fun. I mean you did, cancel our date. It had to be something important. I rolled my eyes as he was trying to get something out of me. I just spent the weekend at home with Naruto. I mumbled the last part. What? Did something happen between the two of you? Sasuke yelled. Is that the reason you canceled? No Sasuke, and don't worry, nothing happened between me and Naruto. I gave a reassuring smile. I just relaxed and slept in, I lied. Well that's good, it would be weird if you went out with your brother. Tenten gave a small smile to me. I sighed. I wondered how they'd take it if they found out that I was Naruto's girlfriend. Would they still be my friends? Ino was the first to know my discomfort. Forehead, are you okay? What? Yeah, I'm fine, Ino pig, I'm just a bit tired. I lied. I really hated lying to my friends. I was relieved as school ended and quickly headed to Naruto's car. I yelped as he pulled me to the side of the building. I moaned as his tongue entered his mouth. I missed you, he whispers silently in my ear. I couldn't help but giggle. I know I missed you too. I brought him into another kiss. Dobi, what the hell are you doing? Get off of her now. Someone yelled. We both separated at the sound of the voice. My eyes widened and Naruto let out a growl. Sasuke quickly charged towards Naruto and hit him. Naruto growled at Sasuke and punched him back. What the hell is your problem? I hear Naruto shout. Sasuke gave a growl at Naruto. My problem? Why the hell are you kissing Sakura? She's your sister and my girlfriend. He yelled and punched Naruto once again in the abdomen. I knew this wouldn't end well. Yeah, Sakura, why is Naruto kissing? I turn around to see Ino and the others looking at me. I frowned a bit. I'll explain in a more private matter. Fine then, if that's what you want, Sakura, Sasuke said. Once we arrived back at Iruka's, everyone stared at me. Naruto put his hand on top of mine and smiled at me. I let out a small sigh. Naruto and I are dating. Everyone gasped at what I had said, but some were angry. Why would you date a playboy and bastard like Naruto? IEAMN, he's your brother, for God's sake. Sasuke yelled and I growled at what Kiba had said. My fists slammed onto the table. Naruto isn't a bastard or a playboy, you don't even know anything about him, and besides he's my step-brother, so we aren't related by blood. Sakura, calm down. Naruto smiled at me and I smiled back. No need to get angry. When did you two become an item? Tenten asked. Over the weekend, I gave a soft smile. Everyone grew silent for a bit until Ino spoke up. I don't know if I really like the idea of you two going out. I mean, you guys are siblings. Even though you're step-siblings. It's just wrong. I love him, that's all you need to know. I grabbed onto Naruto's hand tightly. Naruto's POV. I could easily sense Sakura's discomfort and I didn't want our friends to think I was going to hurt her. Even though she is my stepsister, and I would never do that. Look, I know I was a jerk. Don't forget bastard, Dobi. Sasuke added and I just growled. Okay, and a bastard, but all you have to know is that I love Sakura so much and with all my heart. So please accept us. Naruto begged. Well, Sakura, I guess I have to approve of you dating Naruto. Ino said, I mean, I can really tell that you two love each other, and since you are step-siblings, you're not related by blood, so it's okay, I guess. Everyone else started nodding their heads in approval except for two people. Rock Lee, who was crying his eyes out and saying, no Sakura, why would you fall for him instead of me? I'm way more youthful than Naruto. While Sasuke just got upset and left without saying one more word. I looked at Sakura, who had the biggest smile while almost all of our friends had accepted our relationship. Sakura's POV. Thank you, Ino. I hugged Ino, and everyone approved of me dating Naruto. You guys are the best. I looked at Naruto, who smiled back at me. As soon everyone left Naruto and I just went to his room and chilled out. I snuggled against his chest as he wrapped one arm around me, and I happily wrapped my arms around him and he couldn't help but hug me back. I love you, you know that. I heard him say, and I giggled and looked up at him. Yes, I know that. We kiss forgetting everything that just happened today. And I love you too no matter what. A week had passed and now it was finally winter break for the students of Konoha High. The gang was walking out of school and heading home. So are you guys planning of going anywhere? Asked Ino. I think I'm just going to relax. Probably just spend time with the fam, you know. Then Naruto put his arm around Sakura's shoulders and she blushed a bit. Well, we're going on a cruise and then to a resort, Naruto grinned. Wow, lucky, wish I could go, Ino said. So just the two of you? Kiba asked in a sly voice while nudging Naruto's ribs. This caused both Naruto and Sakura to blush, and they both nodded. Well, I wonder what's gonna happen, Kiba said while walking away and dragging Ino along with him, leaving the step-siblings blushing where they stood. The next day was the day that Naruto and Sakura would go on their vacation. It took them 3 hours of packing and getting to the ship because Naruto couldn't decide on what to bring with him. Basically, he had asked Sakura over hours on end on what to bring with him to the cruise. The ride there was a rough one, and Naruto became seasick as they set off. Don't worry, Naruto. It's only a few hours until we reach land, said Sakura, trying to comfort the seasickened teen. I'm never going to ride on a ship again, said Naruto with puking between words. Sakura just laughed nervously as she looked at the rich people looking at Naruto. The way they were dressed made her feel so underdressed. Naruto sensed his girlfriend's discomfort. Stopping long enough to say something, don't worry Sakura, you look fine. Don't let these rich snobs intimidate you by clothing. As soon as he was done speaking, he barfed for a good 3 minutes straight. Sakura was really grateful for what Naruto had said as it did make her feel better. She looked out at the sea and looked at the sun setting. Sakura and Naruto were on the ship's edge as Naruto was barfing over the edge. After the sun had set, the cruise ship landed. Naruto kissed the deck as he ran off. Sakura found it weird after hours of sleeping and barfing he could be so energetic to get off the ship and even have that signature smile of his plastered on his face. As they walked to the hotel, Naruto was unusually quiet. Sakura just assumed he was happy to be off the ship. She looked at hotel as they hadn't looked at it yet. She freaked out as it was like a skyscraper. How did you get us tickets to this place? She said, looking at their tickets. Naruto just grinned and put his hand behind his head and chuckled. Don't worry, bought it, only the best for the girl I love. And with that he kissed her passionately on the lips and Sakura just melted into it. The hotel they were staying at was so fancy and looked very expensive. There was a fountain the size of cabin in the lobby, the walls, pillars, etc. were all made out of fancy and expensive marble, and the tiles were so white you could see yourself clearly. Huh, you can see yourself, it's so clean, but you can't see footsteps, said Sakura. Must be a magic, he said, as no tile could be this clean. The two teenagers made their way towards the receptionist's desk. Yes, may I help you? Asked the young lady at the desk. She had brown hair, and it was pretty long. She had it tied in a ponytail that reached down to her butt. She wore a usual hotel uniform. It was the color of the hotel's signature color, white. Why were the people at this hotel so obsessed with white, as the outside had been white too, and the interior couches, pillows, were all white, as there were some couches in the lobby. Yes, we have a reservation and would like the check-in please, said Sakura, handing the lady the reservation paper. The receptionist took the piece of paper and looked at them. She entered the information on the computer to make sure that they had a reservation and the papers weren't fake. Then she checked if there were any rooms available, which there were. Okay, they're good, she said while she pulled out some keys. Your room is 419. That would be the 4th floor, said the receptionist. Sakura unlocked the door to look at their room, and their luggage was already here. The porters are really good at this hotel, she said as she looked at the room. There were 2 doors which were probably bedrooms. What caught their attention was the giant window. Near it was a square dining table and a small kitchen next to it. Out of the window was a balcony which extended to the apparent bedrooms. There was also only one king-sized bed. Who knows what'll happen if there's only one bed? Where's the bathroom? Asked Naruto as he yawned. Sakura hit him over the head. You're not impressed at all. This is like a castle compared to a normal hotel room, she said angrily. Naruto held his head in pain, but managed to say, yeah, but we didn't come to gawk in amazement over how fancy this place is. We came to have fun, said Naruto. Sakura was a bit shocked that Naruto had said something so smart again. Well, there's a first time for everything, she thought while laughing a bit. What's so funny? He asked. Oh, it's nothing, she replied. Sakura yawned as she got up. She got up from her bed, slipping on some slippers, and walked over to balcony. She now saw on one of the chairs provided looking out at the now rising sun. What a view, she said breathless. It was breathtaking for Sakura, and wished Naruto was up to see this, but he had been too busy stuffing himself last night from puking on the ship. He went to bed much later than her as she heard him going to bed. After having some tea to drink and having a small breakfast that was left on a cart in the room, the pinkette decided to wake up her boyfriend who was still asleep. The breakfast cart was overloaded with food, and what Sakura had eaten didn't even make the cart's array of food look any smaller. Slowly opening the door, Sakura peeked to see her step-brother, boyfriend asleep, but in an awkward position. His head on the ground just over the edge of the bed, and his hands and legs sprawled out on the bed. Sakura couldn't help but laugh after seeing Naruto in this position. Walking over to the sprawled-out body of her boyfriend, she attempted to wake him. She shook him, but she just got a snore. She pushed him a little harder, and just a louder snore. Sakura was now getting irritated, and decided to wake him the only way she knew, a fist to the head, which she proceeded to do. She punched him right in the face, which caused Naruto to roll off the bed in pain while holding his face. Ouch, Sakura, what was that for? Well, you wouldn't wake up, and we've got a long day ahead of us, so hurry up and get ready, she smiled. Naruto was now stuffing himself, and almost 3/4 of the cart of food was gone now. You didn't have to hit me to wake me up. The scent of food close to my nose would have worked, said Naruto with his mouth full of food. Please don't speak with your mouth full, and every time I pushed or moved you would just snore in response, she stated. Naruto just looked at her as if he didn't believe her, but he decided to change the subject. Well, what are we going to do today? He asked. I thought we'd hit the pool and then the beach, said Sakura. Why both? Asked Naruto. Because at the pool we can just relax, and at the beach we can have some fun. Tomorrow I thought we'd go to the amusement park and spend the day there, said Sakura. Sounds good to me, Naruto replied. Cannonball! Yelled Naruto as he jumped into the pool from the diving board. Water went everywhere, including on Sakura and other guests who were sitting down. Come on, Sakura. It's great, said Naruto, waving excitedly at her. No thanks, Naruto. I'll wait for the beach, said Sakura while waving back. Okay then, suit yourself, he said as he shrugged his shoulders and started swimming around the pool. The girl next to Sakura looked at Naruto and then Sakura. She had a smirk on her face which caught Sakura's attention from watching her friend having fun. As Sakura saw the young teenage woman, she was beautiful and very white. She had long blonde hair and deep purple eyes. How long have you two been going out? Asked the teen, who was being quite nosy. About a couple of weeks, Sakura replied. Well, only a couple of weeks and you're already going on vacation with him, she said coldly. Well, I see we have a slut here. Sakura was in shock that this complete stranger just called her a slut. What? Excuse me, I'm the slut? She questioned. Yes, and your boyfriend that you probably ride just so you could come here is pretty hot. Maybe I'll just take him from you, besides he's just going to throw a slut like you out anyways, she said, emphasizing on the two words. This blonde chick started to strut her way towards Naruto, who was in the pool, making sure that she looked as white as possible while walking towards him, and she caught his attention as all the other males in the vicinity. Naruto's mouth just dropped and his eyes were bulging out of his face as he saw her, and blood was coming out of his nose at such pressure that he went flying backwards. The blonde girl jumped into the pool and walked towards Naruto, then hugged him, making sure he could feel her overly large breast. Sakura's face became red with anger as she saw this. This whore tried to take her man away from her. She ran toward this whore and pulled her hair viciously to get her off of her man. What the fuck, bitch? The blonde girl yelled as she grabbed Sakura's hair, which she in return also grabbed and pulled of the blonde girl's hair. Everyone started gathering around the two fighting girls and some of them were yelling, "Catfight." After what seemed to be minutes of pulling each other's hair, Sakura got really fed up with this slut and punched her right in the face, giving her a black eye and knocking her out in the process. Just as Sakura was about to rain down punches on this girl, she was held back. She fled muscular arms around her and she looked back. It was Naruto. "Stop, Sakura, I think she had enough," he said. "Fine," Sakura replied, calming down a bit. "Come on, let's go before security gets here," he said as he grabbed onto her hair, running out of the building and looking behind him and smiling at her. Just like the ending of the first episode of Fairy Tail. Naruto and Sakura had hit the beach. Naruto was stretched out on a beach towel with sunglasses on. He wasn't ready to go swimming again just yet. Sakura meanwhile was combing the beach for seashells. She had a bucket and shovel with her as she walked down the beautiful, trash-free beach. So far her bucket was half full. After a quick glance at the sun above her, she saw a pretty deep blue spiral shell. "Wow, it's so pretty," said Sakura as she was about to pick it up. However, a sandal stopped her from picking it up. Well, a foot in a sandal to be precise. Sakura was bent down, and had to look up to see who had blocked her hand from getting the seashell. A stranger stood above her. He wasn't half bad looking, for a jerk. He was grinning with sunglasses above his forehead. He had black spiky gelled hair, while wearing only swimming trunks. "What's a cute girl like you doing something as kiddish as picking up seashells?" asked the jerk. This made Sakura irritated as she stood up. She now noticed the difference in height. He was way taller than her by quite a bit, as she only came up to his neck. "I'm picking them because it's fun. It's not kiddish either. Plenty of people pick seashells," Sakura said with a huff. The jerk just laughed. "Well, if that's all you came here for, this expensive hotel, to pick seashells, then obviously you've never had a night out with a man," said the jerk. "Now playboy, come with me, and I'll show you the night of a lifetime." "No thanks. I don't go out with big pompous buffoons who only know how to pick up girls," said Sakura as she moved her hair to the side of her face as a wind had just blown it in her eyes. "What did you call me? I just happen to be a fighter, and at that a member of the famous MMA club," exclaimed the jerk. Playboy. Sakura had heard about them. They were a recently popular club due to the club producing some champion fighters that were said to be top prospects of the sport. "Whatever, I am a fighter myself, and belong to a MMA club, so back off," said Sakura as she tried to walk away, forgetting about the seashell this whole thing had started over. "Oh no you don't," yelled the jerk as he grabbed Sakura by the wrist, instantly pulling her back against his chest. "Ouch, let me go you bastard," said Sakura as she tried to loosen the man's grip, but it wouldn't one bit. "You're coming with me to pay back for that insult," said the man with a dirty smile. "Naruto, help!" yelled the damsel in distress as her step-brother came into mind. "Naruto? Who's Naruto?" asked the kidnapper. The man got his answer as Sakura's call of distress had gotten Naruto's attention from the other side of the beach. A fist connected with the jerkish boy's face, sending him plowing into the sand. Naruto caught Sakura as she fell back. "You okay?" he asked with concern on his face. "Yeah, I'm fine, just that jerk tried to get me to go with him," replied Sakura while getting on her own feet. Naruto looked at the guy who was getting up, spouting some curse words, and getting sand out of his hair. He started walking towards the two friends with anger in his eyes. "I'll be back in 1 minute, Sakura, just wait there," said Naruto as he himself started to advance towards the guy who just tried to kidnap Sakura. "You tried to kidnap and hurt Sakura?" Naruto trailed off as he went up in this guy's face and glared at him. "So what if I did, bud?" the guy said as he pushed Naruto back with one hand. "I'm part of a famous MMA club and I'll beat your ass down." The teen tried to sucker punch Naruto, but Naruto easily saw through it and grabbed his punch, then went in with one of his own, nailing the spiky-haired teen right on the jaw. Then before he stumbled back, Naruto grabbed onto the guy's shoulders and went for a high knee. Crack! The crack was so loud, Naruto knew he had just broken the guy's ribs. The guy fell to the ground coughing out blood and Naruto jumped on top of him and kept on punching the sicko in the face. Over and over again for trying to hurt his Sakura. After a good pummeling by Naruto, the guy was now knocked out with a bunch of bumps and bruises. Naruto returned to Sakura, who was sitting down, hugging her legs. She noticed Naruto out of the corner of her eye. She patted down on the sand, for him to join her. Naruto did as he was asked. "Thanks, Naruto," she said. "No problem. No one messes with a girlfriend and gets away with it," he replied with that same kiddish grin he gave everything and everyone. She couldn't help but giggle at him. Warning. The lemon is about to start, so if you don't want to read it, please just skip the rest of the chapter because the rest of it is a lemon. After a few more hours, Sakura and Naruto returned to the hotel. Both Naruto and Sakura were more tanned due to them being outside in the sun for the whole day. Her bucket was also filled to the brim with seashells. They both were smiling as they walked into the hotel room. "Hey Naruto, thanks for saving me back there on the beach," Sakura said. Naruto just gave her one of his signature grins. "No problem, Sakura," he replied. "Well, since you saved me and brought me here to this awesome place, I think I should give you a gift," Sakura said seductively as she walked up to Naruto, pushing him on top of his bed. "Sakura, what are you doing?" asked the blonde. "What, I know you want, Naruto," purred the pinkette. "If that's what you want," replied Naruto as he flipped them over, making Naruto on top while giving Sakura a passionate kiss. Sakura happily returned the kiss. Naruto started sucking on Sakura's tongue, causing her to moan in his mouth. This caused Naruto to smirk. "I really like this gift you're giving me, it's what I always wanted," said Naruto as he took off her cloths and threw onto the floor, leaving her half naked to Naruto look. Naruto leaned towards her ear and whispered huskily, "You look gorgeous." He then started nibbling on her earlobe. Naruto," moaned Sakura to her boyfriend. Naruto then started giving light kisses on her neck, which made her shudder. When Naruto reached her collarbone, he then applied pressure to his teeth, biting Sakura, and marked her, giving her a hickey, and it caused her to moan again. Naruto started licking the mark he gave her, which made Sakura giggle. Naruto only grinned at this. He then brought his lips to hers, each in a heated kiss. Naruto then unclasped her bra, tossing it where her clothes laid. Naruto then broke the kiss and then giving light kisses to her jawline, then to her chest. Sakura then moaned again. Naruto started to lick her left nipple, which made her moan again. Naruto then took her perfectly sized breast into his mouth, sucking on it. He then rubbed and pinched the right one. And Sakura arched her back, trying to feed more of her breast to her boyfriend. Naruto switched breast and repeated what he did with the left one. "Oh, Naruto-kun," moaned Sakura. When he was done playing with her breasts, Naruto gave kisses again. When he was at her belly button, she circled it with his tongue and continued where he left off. When Naruto reached her panties, he brought his right hand and rubbed her wet undies. "Naruto," moaned the pinkette. Naruto then took off her last piece of clothing and tossed it to the floor. Sakura then noticed she was very wet from Naruto's actions. Naruto brought his nose to her womanhood and nuzzled his face on it. Sakura started moaning a little bit louder. All of a sudden, Naruto's erection started to act up. He then started to lick her thigh up to her womanhood again. Naruto then started licking her womanhood. Sakura could only moan in pleasure. He then inserted his tongue into her, and Sakura arched her back, helping Naruto get his tongue deeper into her womanhood. Naruto was thrusting his tongue into her womanhood and used his upper teeth and nibbled the edge of her womanhood. Sakura felt like she was heaven. Naruto then thrusted his tongue in and out of her womanhood, until, "Naruto, I'm coming," screamed Sakura in ecstasy and pure pleasure as she pushed his head. Naruto then drank all of her sweet juices. As soon as he did that, Naruto gave Sakura a heated kiss, then he found himself on his back. "Sakura," said the blonde. Sakura gave Naruto a kiss and took off his shirt and threw it into the pile that he started. Sakura broke the kiss and looked at Naruto's muscular body, which had a very well-toned chest and a very visible 8-pack, which was like the body of the perfect man. "Like what you see?" asked Naruto. Sakura could only smirk and started giving butterfly kisses. As soon she reached his zippers, and she pulled it down with her teeth. Naruto helped her taking off his pants and boxers until he was left naked too. "Naruto-kun, you're so big," commented Sakura. She then started licking the tip of Naruto's manhood, which made Naruto moan. Sakura then licked the tip and put Naruto's manhood inside of her mouth. "Oh, Sakura," moaned Naruto as he put his hands on Sakura's head, grabbing onto her hair. Sakura bobbed her head up and down his manhood, but since she couldn't take all of it into her mouth, she used her right hand and move it up and down. Hearing her hot boyfriend moaning made her go faster, until, "Sakura, I'm coming," moaned Naruto. When he cummed, Sakura drank all of his milk into her thirsty mouth. When Sakura came back up, Naruto pulled her into a kiss, then flipping them over so he could be on top, he then broke the kiss and spread Sakura's legs. Before entering, Naruto looked up at Sakura and asked, "Want me to use protection?" Sakura replied, "Don't worry, I took birth control pill." Naruto then brought his manhood to Sakura's entrance. He decided to torture her by putting in only 1 inch at a time. When she felt him inside of her, Sakura moaned in pleasure. "Oh man, it's so hot and wet in here, and it's so tight," Naruto moaned. Naruto then started thrusting at a slow rate until Sakura said, "Please Naruto, go faster. I want you to go harder." Naruto's pace started getting faster each time she moaned. The blonde leaned down, so he and Sakura were engaged into a heated kiss. Naruto and Sakura were in paradise of pure pleasure that they couldn't even begin to imagine. Sakura grabbed onto Naruto tightly, bringing him to a strong hug, and her nails digging deep into Naruto's back. "Nah, Naruto, it looks like we're one, once again," Sakura said in between moans. After several moments, Sakura started bucking her hips with Naruto until they were in perfect sync. "Naruto, I'm coming," screamed Sakura. Naruto said, "Sakura, I'm coming too." With one final push, she cummed all over his manhood and he released his seed into her. This made Sakura love the feeling of Naruto's cum inside her. She wanted to do this again. After he caught his breath, Sakura pulled him into a kiss. Sakura flipped them over so now she was on top, still inside of her. Sakura rode on top of Naruto. Naruto brought his head to one of her nipples. Sakura was moaning like crazy. After what seemed like an eternity, they both climaxed and once again released inside each other. Sakura then fell on top of Naruto and wrapped her arms around his neck and laid on his chest. Naruto put the blanket on top of them. "I hope you like the gift, Naruto," said Sakura as she fell asleep. "Yeah, what a gift," replied Naruto as he stroked her hair and also fell asleep. The sunlight went through the blinds, hitting Sakura's eyes. She felt so warm and comfortable snuggled up to Naruto like this. Sakura nuzzled her face on Naruto's chest. "Sakura, that tickles," he giggled. "Sorry Naruto, but man, am I sore. Why'd you have to go all out yesterday?" "I mean, we still got a full day on this trip," she said. "Well, I couldn't help it, you are so beautiful." Sakura couldn't help but blush at his comment. "Well, let's go get ready, I want to have a lot of fun today," she said, stretching her back. After 30 minutes, Naruto was now dressed and ready to go as Sakura was changing. He had been eager to go and Sakura was taking so long just to change and get ready. Naruto had pondered what to do, and had settled with playing with the fireplace which was ablaze in the kitchen, living room. "You ready?" asked Naruto for the 7th time. "Yes, after having to answer your constant questions, and blow drying my hair I've managed to clothe myself," she said. She was wearing a colorful outfit today, a blue skirt with a red blouse. Naruto blushed as he looked at her. "Sakura, you're so beautiful today." This made Sakura also blush. "Thanks Naruto. We should hurry up if we are going to get to the amusement park before it got too crowded, and have to wait in that super long line," Naruto said. After scarfing down their breakfasts, they were off. The amusement park was almost directly outside the hotel, well, the entrance anyway. Sakura was looking at the map of the place, and saw 30 different types of rides, mostly roller coasters. Naruto was raring to go on all 30, but Sakura knew it was impossible to do that due to the amount of time each ride took, and the amount of time they had until the park closed. Each ride took about 10 to 15 minutes, and 30 times that was equal to about 300 minutes, which was 5 hours, and the park closed in 4. Not wanting to see a downhearted Naruto, Sakura kept this info to herself. She figured let him have his fun, although he would be sad not being able to ride all of the rides. They got in line to enter the amusement park and it took a whole 30 minutes to get in the park. Man, what a line, Naruto said. Yeah, I know that was crazy long, Sakura said. They started by roaming through some of the game booths and Naruto bought Sakura a cotton candy that they ended up sharing anyway. Naruto talked Sakura into riding a few roller coasters with him, which wasn't too hard since Sakura somewhat liked the thrill. Naruto was raring to go on the biggest roller coaster in the park. Sakura convinced him to work up to the big one and so he, in turn, dragged her along on the other smaller coasters. Finally they had arrived at the biggest roller coaster in the whole amusement park. Naruto, Sakura said, trying to pull out of his grasp as she said, Naruto, I don't want to ride that one. Ah, come on, Sakura, the blonde-haired teen pouted at her. He pouted at her, and it was so undeniably adorable that she almost cracked right then and there and climbed onto the coaster with him. She caught herself, however, and stood firmly in place. Sakura glanced apprehensively up at the monster they had yet to conquer and she felt her insides squirm. Naruto broke across the silence. Come on, Sakura, I'll be right there. And I don't want to ride it alone, he complained. Sakura groaned, letting her forehead fall forward onto her boyfriend's chest. Let's just get it over with, then. Yes. He beamed at her, an expression that made her feel weak at the knees, and proceeded to pull her, by the hand, toward the relatively short line for the coaster of death, as the park dubbed it. Before they were even at the top of the first drop, Sakura felt her stomach in her throat. She liked roller coasters well enough, but this one just wasn't her cup of tea. And, if looking across the town to the big coasters at the 4 other amusement parks was any indication, the biggest attractions at the others wouldn't be her cup of tea, either. Her knuckles were white on the bar holding her in the car, and the thought briefly crossed her mind that she felt as though she might fly out as soon as the descent began. Sakura didn't have any more time to think, because the bottom suddenly dropped out of her stomach as the coaster's cars began to plummet. A shriek tore from her throat even as a cheerful whoop escaped Naruto's, and she desperately reached over and wrapped her arms tightly around his torso since both of his arms were in the air. That ride could not have ended sooner for Naruto, and even waiting for the attendants to unlock and lift the safety bar seemed like torture. As soon as she could, she stumbled out. Immediately she went after Naruto and clutched at his arm for support. Her legs were like jelly. Naruto understood instantly and put an arm around her waist to help her keep her feet in dignity. It wasn't enough to make her blush again, but it did make the tingles shoot up her spine again. Have fun, Sakura? He asked, grinning at her in a mischievous manner. Shut up, she muttered, elbowing him half-heartedly in the side. I was having plenty of fun until you decided you wanted to ride that thing. Naruto laughed again, a sound that made Sakura pay him more attention. He was the picture of happiness, and it made her feel warm inside to be witnessing it. He then surprised her by saying, Sorry I forced you into it, Sakura. You should have just refused again if you really didn't ride it. It's okay, she said, and then before she lost the nerve she added, You were right there the whole time, just like you promised, so it's okay. He smiled that gentle smile at her again, and her heart started beating a rapid rhythm on her sternum. Just how could he make faces like that? Let's play a few games, Naruto suggested. Yeah, sure. Sakura agreed wholeheartedly. Once Sakura finally reacquired full use of her legs, they went off to play a few games. They were playing a few games and Sakura won a little plush fox, which she presented to Naruto with a big grin. She knew that Naruto's favorite animal was a fox. Time flew by fast as it was already 1:30 p.m. Hey Naruto, I'm getting kind of hungry, Sakura said. Me too, Naruto said with a grin. So they stopped to get a corn dog apiece and a funnel cake to share. Naruto went off to buy some food while Sakura stayed back and looked for a table. She finally found an empty one so she sat down and waited for Naruto. Hey bitch, don't you think I forgot what happened yesterday, and it looks like your boyfriend isn't around? Sakura heard a familiar voice. She turned around and was shocked. She saw the same guy yesterday that tried to rape her. Today he was with 2 other guys. What do you want? Do you want my boyfriend to kick your ass again? She said. The 3 hoodlums laughed. He was just lucky yesterday. Besides, my 2 friends here also go to the same MMA club as me. Come on girl, why don't you have fun with us? One of the other boys said as he grabbed her arm. Let go of me, Sakura screamed. Hey Teme, didn't you get enough yesterday? Sakura was saved as she heard her boyfriend's voice. Is that the guy who beat you up, Jack? One of them said to the black-haired teen from yesterday named Jack. Yeah, that's him, Jack replied. Well, looks like we have to teach him a lesson, he said as he cracked his knuckles. One of the boys ran towards Naruto and attempted to punch him in the face, but he easily dodged it and gave him a right hook, right in the face. Then Jack and the other guy charged at him, attempting to hit Naruto. Naruto blocked one punch by grabbing it, then side-kicked the other guy right in the gut and he stumbled back in pain. The guy whose fist got grabbed by Naruto went in for another punch, but Naruto was quicker and got his knee right on the guy's faces, making his face all bloody. Naruto panted heavily as he stood in the middle of the 3 unconscious boys around him. Then security came to see what the ruckus was all about. What happened here? One of the security guards asked. They tried to hurt my girlfriend, so I hurt them instead, Naruto replied. Then the security guard questioned Sakura and the other witness that saw what happened. The 3 guys tried to say that Naruto was at fault and just started fighting against them, but all the other witnesses said the same story as Naruto. In the end, the 3 delinquents were kicked out of the park and Naruto was let go, without any punishment because it was self-defense. Hours passed and Naruto and Sakura rode on rides after rides until the sun was setting and the amusement park was almost closed. Today was fun, Sakura, said Naruto as he turned back to the pinkette. Want to ride on the Ferris wheel? It's so romantic and a perfect thing to end off our date, asked Sakura with a blush on her cheeks. Okay, sure, he replied. They went to the Ferris wheel, and there was not much of a crowd, so they got in pretty quick. As they rode the Ferris wheel, they were watching the sunset and it was so romantic. Naruto, this is so RO, Sakura said, but was bit off. Sakura had been about to say more, but was cut off as Naruto had pressed his mouth against hers, which formed a kiss. The kiss was really passionate and Naruto nibbled on Sakura's bottom lip and asked for entrance, which she gladly accepted. She opened her mouth and Naruto's tongue entered her mouth and started to massage her tongue with his own. After minutes of making out, they were both out of breath and he sat back down from bending over. Sakura was left blushing. Naruto was also, but only a light shade. Their kiss ended just as the sun disappeared. Their noses touched each other's and were looking at each other with love in their eyes. Let's go back to the hotel for tonight, Naruto said, gently propelling Sakura toward the exit of the Ferris wheel. We can have a nice soak in the hot springs and meet up afterwards for supper. Wait a minute, Sakura said, stopping and causing Naruto, whose arm was still around her waist to help support her, come to a halt as well. She turned her eyes to meet his and said incredulously, there's a hot spring? And you didn't mention this yesterday, why? I forgot, Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head, sorry. Sakura let out an excited squeal. It's okay, I'm just glad that you remembered while we were still here, she said while throwing her arms around the blonde-haired teen's neck. Ah, the pinkette stretched after climbing out of the women's side of the hot springs. That felt nice. The white, fluffy towel that she wrapped around herself felt like heaven, and she walked slowly back to the changing rooms with a contented smile on her face. Naruto really knows how to treat a girl right, she found herself musing. If I'm not careful, I might let it slip. The pinkette shook her head, her wet hair clinging to her skin as she reached the changing rooms and began to dry off, preparing to slip on the complimentary robe she'd worn down to the baths. She threw her hair up in a messy, wet bun and then slid one arm into one of the sleeves. As she was sliding the other arm in, another woman walked in. By her outfit, Sakura realized she was a worker. Hello, the brunette said kindly, smiling a genuine smile that had a devious edge to it. Sakura was immediately a little wary, but listened as the woman spoke again. Are you, perhaps, a Miss Sakura Namikaze? That's me, Sakura returned, smiling back at the woman even though she was having brief doubts about her. It was hard not to smile at this woman. Is there something you needed? Oh, not me. The woman laughed lightly. Your brother, Naruto Namikaze, wanted to let you know that there's a new dress in your room for you and that when you go back and get ready, he'll meet you in the lobby to take you to dinner. Sakura flushed at the message. Oh, thank you for telling me, she said, fidgeting just a little. The brunette beamed at her. It's no problem. Just have fun on your dinner date. She giggled and left the room. The pinkette decided that whether it was or wasn't didn't matter at the moment. What mattered was that Naruto was most likely already waiting for her and she shouldn't keep him waiting after he'd done so much for her. Dinner was just as she expected, but with a few little twists. Naruto was decently dressed and was even so nice as to pull out her chair for her. He ate just as much as normal, which was okay because it wasn't one of the fancier restaurants in town, but he did manage to be neater about it all. The dress he'd gotten for her was relatively simple. A white sundress with pink sakura blossom designs and a green ribbon around the middle. She paired it with a pair of small white wedges. The ensemble worked together nicely. After dinner, though, the pair took a nice little walk along the river that ran through the center of the resort with their arms linked together. Now, more than ever, Sakura wanted this moment to last. When it was about 9, the two turned in. They both went to bed exhausted from their long day. Both Naruto and Sakura fell asleep quickly, a smile on their faces. In the morning, it was time to go. Their vacation unfortunately had to end. After having their things packed, they were on their way to the port holding hands. As they got on the cruise ship, they looked back at the Ferris wheel, which might just be their most favorite memory of the trip. As the ship pulled out of the dock and blew its loud whistle, Naruto sat back against the railing, with Sakura in his arms. He had his arms wrapped around her waist, and Naruto had his face on her shoulder. Breathing in Sakura's scent, she smelled like strawberries. She smelled so nice. Sakura couldn't help it, but blush and smile at the same time. Sakura stood impatiently at the bus stop where the shopping center was, tapping her foot on the ground. She tried to ignore her icy ears and the frigid winter breeze even though the effort was completely futile. The pinkette girl sighed and tugged down her skirt a little more, thankful that she had worn leggings underneath. It kept her just warm enough that she wouldn't absolutely murder Naruto when he finally showed up. Sakura, someone yelled. Think of the devil and he shall appear, Sakura thought wryly to herself, turning her unimpressed gaze to her boyfriend. You're late, Naruto, the pinkette stated coldly, crossing her arms in a rather intimidating manner. I've been standing here in the cold for 10 minutes. You could have waited inside. Sakura, Naruto rolled his eyes. I could just come in to get you. It's okay, I guess, Sakura muttered under her breath, but she stepped forward into the snow-covered street to the boy's side. He wore an orange long-sleeved vest buttoned mostly up and a scarf around his neck. His black pants matched his vest and then, of course, were his boots. Sakura felt really cold so she reached up to rub her ear a little, but her icy fingers didn't help at all. While her arms were still up, cold fingers trying to warm her equally frigid ears in vain, she heard Naruto sigh. Something draped over her vision, wrapped loosely around her arms. She quickly brought her hands down to shoulder height in surprise, and it took a few moments to register that a certain familiar scarf was wrapped around her. A quick glance at the owner of the scarf showed him averting his gaze, and she slid her arms out from under the scarf to readjust it around her neck. Thanks, she said, almost shyly as she tucked her nose down inside the scarf. His scent permeated her senses and made her grin a little. An action that was, thankfully, also hidden by the scarf that caused it. No problem, Sakura, he said, and dropped his arm around her shoulders before she could protest any farther. She sighed, deciding to let him get away with the action. She could feel the heat radiating from his body and she instantly felt warmer, too. Now, where are we going? He asked. You're taking me shopping, remember? Sakura asked indignantly, though she wasn't incensed enough to pull away from his warmth. You ruined all my best clothes when we were, you know. Flashback. Moans, growls, these sounds filled their empty house for days, since Minato and Sango were also out on a romantic vacation. The pinkette would shiver each time she'd hear Naruto growl when he'd let his animalistic side get the better of him. He'd bite on her white silky skin, she'd dig her nails deeper into his tan skin. She tried her best to hold back, her boyfriend had his pants on while she was naked. Oh Naruto, Sakura moaned. That was one thing to get Naruto all riled up, he always loved to hear his Sakura say. She moaned in protest as their little game was unfair. Of course Naruto always did love having the upper hand, like in any game he would cheat. Naruto knew Sakura was holding back as he bucked his hips. "What's the matter, Sakura? You don't like how I play?" The rosette nibbled on his ear, which only made him smirk. Oh, how he loved it when he annoyed Sakura. This only made her to be rough with him. Of course he loved it when she was rough. She wrapped her legs around Naruto's hips and bucked against him. Naruto hissed as Sakura now had the advantage. Sakura now smirked as she now had the upper hand and enjoyed Naruto's squirm beneath her touch. The blonde growled in annoyance and Sakura pushed Naruto against the wall, as they still made their way towards his room. She had his hands pinned against his sides and smirked. "What's wrong, Naruto? You don't like the way I play?" she said in a sweet innocent voice. Oh, that sweet innocent voice just made Naruto even crazier for her. Sakura grabbed a handful of Naruto's unruly blonde hair and roughly kissed him. Both shivered as their hips bucked against each other, although Sakura's skin was getting red from Naruto's jeans and zippers. Though she enjoyed the coldness of the zipper touching her womanhood, Naruto moved from her lips to her neck and continued to nip her delicious soft and silky skin. Naruto took this advantage and pushed Sakura against the wall. The rosette gasped in surprise and growled and the blonde's idiotic growl. "Sorry Sakura, but I couldn't let you have all the fun now, could I?" Sakura rolled her eyes as Naruto was being the idiot as he was, but she found it dare she think of it why. The blonde quickly trapped her against the wall and carried her to his room. Sakura wrapped her legs around his waist and her arms around his neck. The pinkette bit her lip as Naruto actually brought his attention to her perky nipple. The blonde gently nibbled on them causing Sakura to hiss. Once they entered, Naruto walked to his bed and dropped Sakura on his bed causing her to bounce, but Naruto jumped on the bed and trapped her, as he had his knees against her sides and his hands above her head. It was like he was hunting. He was the hunter and Sakura was his helpless little cute prey. Well, he wouldn't say helpless when Sakura grabbed his shoulders and flipped them over. Naruto was brought into a kiss from his excited Sakura. She brought her right hand to the waist of his jeans and tore them from his lower bottom causing the blonde to be shocked and yet aroused from her action. Naruto decided to take dominance and flipped them over. He straddled Sakura and took off his boxers showing his really hard manhood. Naruto couldn't simply stand it when she was tensing him, so he simply took Sakura's hands away from his manhood and quickly thrust it into her. Sakura's back arched as his manhood went inside her. It was the perfect length, not too big and also not too small. It was a perfect fit. Like they were meant for each other. Naruto thrusted in and out of her. Sakura couldn't control herself. This intense pleasure made her hormones go completely out of control. As for Naruto, same thing. The pinkette and the blonde brought each other into another rough kiss. Both flipped each other as they wanted dominance. Amazingly, both continued to buck their hips against each other. But rough play or rough led to other things. The two uncontrolled hormone lovers continued to flip each other, until Naruto and Sakura fell off the bed with the exception of Naruto landing on his back on the cold wooden floor. He thrashed his head as Sakura rode him, though Naruto wasn't going down without a fight. The blonde brought his lover into a kiss. Both stood up still bucking their hips against each other. Naruto pushed Sakura against a drawer and caused the lamp to fall down and shatter, but that wasn't going to stop them. Sakura was sitting on the drawer and held the edges while Naruto thrusted his hips faster. The blonde nipped her skin from her neck to her chest, never stopping. The pinkette dug her skin really deep in Naruto's shoulder blade. Not only that, but she bit his shoulder. Sakura's walls started to clamp onto Naruto's member but still thrusted in and out of her. While he was moving even faster, Sakura's nails clawed Naruto's back, which eventually was going to leave really bad bruises and scratches. Though some people really loved the common way of having, which was going slow and then going fast, well, Naruto and Sakura really love it when they're both rough on each other. Sakura was having a tough time of holding onto Naruto. She even clawed his chest just to get a good grip. But for some strange reason Naruto nipped one of Sakura's arms just to get out of the way so he could continue to nip her skin. Both moved their rough back to the bed. Their speed increased so much that the bed started to shake and creak. Even the lights started to flicker. Both couldn't hold it anymore. The roughness and the pleasure was starting to be too much for them. "Sakura, I'm going to come." "Me too." With one final thrust they both released at the same time. Sakura's body shivered uncontrollably as Naruto's juices filled up her womanhood. Once she stopped shaking, she opened her eyes and saw Naruto panting really hard. Both smiled at each other. Well, you're going to have some really bad bruises in the morning. Naruto knew Sakura was talking about the marks left thanks to her nails. Looks who's talking, I left you like a million of bite marks. Sakura nodded in agreement that Naruto really left her some hickeys and a mark on her. Well, we'll just have to get used to it. Both laughed in agreement as they both knew they'll have the same results when they're done having rough. You know we've been doing this for the past week, Sakura said. Yeah, I know. Naruto kissed her on the neck and Sakura moaned. Well, you keep ripping my clothes off so I'm kind of low. Don't worry, Sakura, I'll buy you new clothes. Promise? Of course, anything for you. Flashback ends. Sakura blushed as she recalled what happened, then quickly yelled, so you're replacing them, with interest. Sheesh, I got it already, Sakura, he winced, as if she was hurting his ears by scolding him. By now Sakura knew he was just teasing, and so she huffed in annoyance, looking ahead of them. I'll even buy lunch for you. A tint of pink that had nothing to do with the temperature flooded across Sakura's cheeks, and she was thankful for the scarf that she could duck farther into. She felt an awful lot like a turtle when she did so, and soon lifted her head. I won't hold back, the pink cat warned. I know. I'll make you buy expensive clothes. That's fine. You're going to have to carry all of the bags. Sure. Sakura looked closely at her boyfriend, then reached up to feel his forehead. He looked down at her, as if startled, and she furrowed her brow. You don't feel any warmer than usual, she mused. Are you feeling all right? I'm fine, I'm fine. Naruto waved her off, laughing. He was being so agreeable that Sakura didn't know what to do with herself. For once, Naruto had her completely speechless. She couldn't even yell at him for his acts of idiocy because he hadn't done anything wrong at all. It was like he'd taken classes in being a perfect gentleman. If you say so, Sakura finally consented uncertainly, turning back to watch the street. She didn't want to step on a patch of ice and fall, especially not in front of Naruto. And just as she thought that, her left boot slid right out from under her. A strangled sound escaped her and she braced for the impact of her bum striking the cold, hard ground, only to wait for something that didn't come. Geez, Sakura, watch where you're walking, Naruto teased again, helping her to regain her footing. The arm that had been around her shoulders had reflexively dropped to catch her under his arm, and his other hand came to catch the arm closest to him. She was probably very lucky that he wasn't on a patch of ice, too, or else they might have found themselves in a very compromising position. Thanks, Sakura forced out again, putting a hand on his arm to finish steadying herself. No problem, Naruto said with a nonchalance Sakura was fairly certain he didn't possess. Well, he'd never showed it to her before and it was completely unexpected of him. She felt her heart skip a beat against her will. Let's keep going. The pink cat regained her composure, standing up tall. I want to go find some nice expensive outfits. Naruto just smiled to himself, shaking his head. Naruto. Sakura yelled loudly, arms crossed, where'd you go? The blonde had disappeared when she'd slipped into a sports gear store to use the restroom, and now the pink cat stood in the street, shifting weight from one foot to the other and rubbing her hands together, none too pleased. He had promised her he'd take her shopping to replace her clothes. She didn't think that a promise meant so little to him. Naruto. What is it, Sakura? She couldn't help but gasp as she spun around to face Naruto, that had seemingly appeared out of nowhere behind her. The blonde did her best to compose herself quickly, immediately shifting her hands to her hips. Where were you? She asked. You looked cold the whole way here, he said, holding out a hand. It wasn't until then that Sakura noticed the steaming cup in his hand. I bought a cappuccino. Is that okay? The accursed color came rushing back to her cheeks as she reached up to take the cup. She smiled up at him, fervently hoping he'd think it was the cold, and said, yeah, that's great. Thanks again, Naruto. Don't worry about it, he said, again with the nonchalance she hadn't expected, as he once again dropped his arm around her shoulders. Now let's do a little window shopping, and when we finish our coffee, you can pick the store you want to go in first. Okay, Sakura agreed, choosing just to go with his attitude. It might be something he never showed her again, so she'd do her best to enjoy it while she got the chance. Sakura sipped at her French vanilla cappuccino as she and Naruto strolled down the snowy street, doing a bit of window shopping and making mental notes of which stores she had to visit and which ones she might be able to pass up. All the while, Naruto's arm was draped around her shoulders. Every time they would pass by a window and see their reflections, they would both think that they looked good together. Really good. Before she knew it, she was completely out of cappuccino. She tossed it in the next trash bin that she and Naruto passed. Naruto leaned across her to shove his own empty cup in right after her. "Where to first?" he asked casually, tucking his free hand in a pocket. The reflection that was cast in the nearest store window made him look incredibly cool, and Sakura forced her eyes away. "I saw a super cute dress through the window of a shop back this way." Sakura turned around, pointing back down the street. She started walking that way so quickly that Naruto's arm fell from her shoulder. Heat flooded her face when he snatched her hand instead, but she didn't say anything, nor did she turn around. She just led him to the store in question and pulled him in after her. The pinkette made a beeline to the dress she had seen and found her size in an instant. The sundress was white with white, green, and had pink floral patterns. "I'll try this one on," she told Naruto, taking his scarf off and handing it to him before slipping away towards the dressing rooms in the back. Sakura snatched a few shirts and skirts on the way back so that she had other things to try on as Naruto followed at his own pace behind her. As soon as the curtain swished shut behind the pink-haired teen, she took a deep breath and looked down at the hand he'd been holding. It was still warm. Peeking out, Sakura saw that he wasn't even looking at the booth, but at a few shirts as he passed them. When she saw this, the girl turned her back on the curtain and raised her slightly warm hand to her cheek and smiling softly. It was just a one-time thing, she figured, but she still had enjoyed the feeling of his much larger hand encasing her own in a protective cage. Sighing, she started to change, starting with some of the shirts and skirts she'd grabbed on the way. On about the third outfit, Sakura decided that she'd see if Naruto's weird nonchalance and obliging nature of the day had continued, so she stepped out and said, "Naruto, how does this look?" It was against her better judgment. The blonde had simply acted before she had thought it through, and now she was practically trembling in her shoes, asking herself what in the world she was doing. But it was too late to back out now because Naruto, who had made his way into the back corner where the dressing rooms were, had turned to look. "It's not quite you," he said simply, shrugging and turning away, but not before he added, "It doesn't look bad, mind, but it's just not like you." "Thanks." Sakura smiled at him and slipped back into the dressing room, where she promptly collapsed on the small cushioned bench. "What am I thinking?" the pinkette cursed to herself mentally. She took off the outfit and realized that the last thing she had was the dress, and so she pulled it on. It fit her curves perfectly, and she smiled a little to herself as she twirled in front of the mirror. The orange and red and yellow of the floral pattern danced as she spun and looked for all the world like a small flame crawling up the dress. This time it was a conscious decision for her to step out. "What about this one, Naruto?" she asked, beaming at him. "Look at the flowers when I spin. What does it remind you of?" Sakura did a little twirl, feeling much like a little girl but relishing the rush of childishness, and when she was facing Naruto again she flashed a brilliant grin at him. The embarrassment hit like a tidal wave then, but she really didn't care because Naruto laughed. "Fire." "Exactly." Sakura couldn't help but giggle too, and caught in the moment she twirled a circle around her boyfriend. "Well, I'd better change back," she finally said with one last girlish giggle as she turned to re-enter the changing room. She didn't expect the hand to reach out for her. "Wait, Sakura," Naruto began, his hand encasing hers once more. The pinkette was just inside the curtain, their linked hands holding it open. She turned to look at him, her green eyes clearly showing her confusion and her cheeks reddening at their closeness and contact. And Sakura saw something in Naruto's eyes just seconds before he leaned down and kissed her. It was a short, chaste kiss, but a kiss nonetheless. Naruto was red in the cheeks, and it was a really endearing look for him to wear. "I love you," he said. Sakura flushed and went back into the changing room. Before Sakura had realized it, Naruto had paid for her dress and they were stepping out into the street. "Which store next?" Naruto asked, his back to her. "I still owe you." Ouch. One of the ends of his scarf was in the pinkette's hand, and as he turned to look at the blonde, maybe even to reprimand her for yanking on his scarf and trying to choke him, she returned the favor from the dressing room. As if it was the most natural thing in the world, Naruto's hands dropped to her waist after a brief pause and her hands tangled in his hair. And so, when she dropped back down from her tiptoes, she breathed, "I love you, too." Their lips were inches apart when the street erupted into cheers and wolf whistles and laughter. "We still have shopping to do," Naruto said in her ear, which sent a shudder up her spine. "And lunch, remember? Yeah, don't worry, I won't forget," she said with a smile on her face. "Okay, let's go then." Naruto grabbed her hand and they were off to the next store. Winter vacation had just ended for the students of Konoha High, and unfortunately it was the day to go back to school. The sunlight cut through the blinds and were hitting Sakura in the face. At this heat that she felt on her face, she woke up but then clenched her stomach. It hurt a lot. Sakura felt sick to her stomach. In fact, it was doing backflips. This couldn't have been happening, could it? Sakura quick leapt out off of the bed and out of her boyfriend's arms and ran to the washroom. She put her head over the toilet and barfed like there was no tomorrow. Naruto woke up to Sakura suddenly jumping out of his arms and running somewhere. He then heard Sakura barfing and was really worried for her. Naruto headed towards the bathroom and with a voice full of concern her asked, "Sakura, are you okay?" "Do you think I am?" Sakura yelled. "Whoa Sakura, calm down, I was only trying to ask if you were okay. Just get out." She continued to barf into the toilet. "Man, she's moody today," Naruto mumbled. For one whole this kept on repeating and repeating. Over and over again. Sakura would get up in the morning and head to the toilet barfing. Then she would feel okay, then at school her stomach would act up again. Ino saw what was happening to Sakura and she knew exactly what was happening to her. "Man, I felt like killing myself," Sakura said as she walked out of the bathroom. Sakura," Ino said. "What, Ino pig? I think I know what's wrong, forehead." "I do too. I think I got the stomach flu of something." "I Betty?" She was cut off when Ino said, blushing, I don't think that is it. Let me ask you a question." "Okay, did you and Naruto, have you no?" Ellipsis question mark quote. Ino said, now her face was redder than Sasuke's Sharingan. Sakura also blushed madly at Ino's blunt question, What, did you have UAL intercourse with Naruto?" "Yes," Sakura said looking at her feet so her bangs would cover her face. "How about protection?" she asked. Protection, 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 that word echoed in her head. She put one and one together and gasped as she realized what her mom was telling her. No, it can't be. We Alwa, then she remembered it. They did do it a couple of times without protection. Forehead, I think you're pregnant. Sakura was shocked. "I'll go buy you a pregnancy test from the drugstore. I'll be right back." Ino left to the drugstore leaving a really shocked Sakura, froze where she stood, in the girl's bathroom. Shock was clear on her face and she stared at her bathroom counter, where a pregnancy test sat. A positive sign clearly on it. She was pregnant, it couldn't be. She was still in her last year of high school, she didn't know the first thing about taking care of a baby. What would people think of her? She got pregnant by her own stepbrother. She knew that her friends and Naruto would accept her, but what about the others? Hell, forget about her, she completely ruined her boyfriend's life. She knew he said he would always stay by her, but would he really stay by her if she was pregnant? Sakura's mind went blank as a million thoughts raced through her head. Tears streamed down her face thinking of how disappointed he would look, tell that she was the reasons his dreams for the future were ruined. All because of her. All because they had to raise a baby. Their baby. Sakura held her knees close to her stomach, in the fetal position, as her stomach continued to do backflips. Her heart was racing. How was she going to tell Naruto? When was she going to tell him? Should she even tell him the news? She walked out the bathroom when a pair of hands covered her eyes while she felt a chill go down her spine as a breath of air hit the back of her neck. "Hey there, beautiful, you feeling better? You didn't talk to me for a while. Did I do anything wrong?" He spun her around and went to kiss her, but she pulled away. "Hey, if I did something wrong, I'll make up for it. I swear, Sakura." Naruto laid his forehead against hers and brushed the hair out of her face. Sakura began to tear up at his actions. "Naruto, just stop. Sakura, please just tell me what's wrong. Is it cause of your stomach aches? Or is it because of me?" Sakura looked at him and grabbed his hand, leading him into their bedroom. "It's not just something you did. It's something the both of us did," she said. "What are you?" "It was just a one-night thing. When we forgot to use protection. I mean, I could get an abortion and we'll just forget about the whole thing." "Abortion? Sakura. Hey, are you pregnant?" Naruto's face dropped. He had gotten her pregnant. He had gotten his stepsister, girlfriend, pregnant. "Sakura, He noticed he was talking to no one since he was alone in the room. He ran out the door seeing Sakura running off. Sakura, he ran after her but lost her in the crowd. Damn it, what had he done? She had told him she was pregnant and he just stood there like an idiot. How could he do this to her? On his way out the door Kiba saw him. Hey Naruto. Wanna hang out? Kiba asked running over to him. Kiba, I don't have time right now, I gotta find Sakura. Naruto said running off. Last I seen her she was headed to her car. Okay thanks. Sakura searched through her bag for her keys with tear-filled eyes, eventually giving up on the search. She couldn't drive while she was this upset, it would only cause an accident. She slumped against the lockers sobbing in the empty hallway. She was never one to cry in front of people. You never answered my question and never gave me a chance to reply to the news you gave me, a voice said. Sakura looked up from her hands to see the blue-eyed blonde. She just let her tears flow down her face and just continued to cry. I'm sorry. Naruto, I just ruined your future plans by getting pregnant. I'm sorry, she burst into tears once again. Naruto bent down in front of her and held her hands in his. Sakura. After all we've been through. This is what you say. I can't believe this. I said I would stay by your side no matter what. I love you. I don't have a future unless you're in it. My future Sakura, you, and now this baby is my future and I'm going to be there for you every step of the way and we're going to raise this baby together. You hear me? He hugged her tightly, rubbing her back as she sobbed. Sakura sniffed a couple times after hearing what Naruto had to say, but when I told you. Naruto interrupted her. You know I love you with all my heart and I wasn't shocked because you said you were pregnant. I was shocked because you wanted to get rid of something that we made together and I don't care if it was just an accident that happened because we forgot to use protection. This is our baby. You don't know how many days I've dreamed of having a family with you. The pinkette buried her face back into his shoulder and held him tightly. Naruto let out a little chuckle as he lifted her into his lap and hugged her, leaning against the lockers, and laid a hand on her belly. The next day, everyone in class were chatter. Naruto and Sakura walked into the class and suddenly everyone stopped talking. Why do you guys stop talking? It's just us, Naruto said. Kiba walked up to the incest couple. Is it true that Sakura is pregnant? Kiba's eyes were shining like he really wanted to know whether it was true or not. Both Naruto and Sakura noticed that everyone else in the classroom were listening into their conversation, eager to learn the truth. Ino pig, when I get my hands on you. Sakura yelled, turning into her demon self. Sorry, forehead, but you know me. I couldn't help it, Ino stuttered. Naruto hugged Sakura from behind and whispered in her ear. It's alright, they were bound to find out anyways. Yeah, you're right, Naruto. Sakura kissed Naruto passionately on the lips. You two get a room, Kiba said, pretending to throw up at this lovey-dovey scene. Naruto smirked. Well, yeah, it's true, Sakura's pregnant. Cheers and applause filled the room as Naruto got congratulated by the boys and Sakura got congratulated by the girls. To Sakura, congratulations Sakura, the girls said. So forehead, since you're going to have a baby, we have to throw you a party, Ino squealed. No, you don't have to go through all that trouble just for me, Sakura said. But we want to, they said in unison. Okay, how about just a dinner celebration then? Okay fine, let's do it tonight after school. Sorry, but I'm bussed today, how about the weekend then? Okay then, dinner party this Saturday, the girls agreed. To Naruto. Congrats bud. Naruto, you dog. Hey, I'm not dog. Mutt face over there's the dog. Naruto pointed at Kiba. Hey, I heard that, Kiba said, glaring, and Naruto just laughed. I'm kidding. Naruto wiped a tear from his eyes, the result of laughing too hard. So have you asked her to marry you yet? Nope, and about that I was thinking of asking you for your help for that. Normal POV. Sakura was getting really upset, not only because of the mood swings her pregnancy was giving her but also because of her boyfriend who promised to always be with her, was avoiding her all freaking week. To say she was pissed was an understatement. Naruto was almost never at home. The only time he was home was to go to sleep. Even then Sakura would try to stay up till Naruto came home, but she would fall asleep before he came home. In the morning, he was gone before she even woke up. But what made her even more mad was what happened a few days ago. Flashback. Sakura just finished taking a shower and walked out of the bathroom. She finally saw that blonde-haired bastard who was avoiding her for days now. Hey Naruto, she yelled. Why are you ignoring me? Are you trying to avoid me? I haven't seen you all week. In the morning you're gone before I can wake up and at night you're come home after I fall asleep. I just want to see you. Sakura started to sob and cry. Naruto pulled her into a hug and she started to blush and calm down a bit. Sorry Sakura, I've been really busy lately. Sakura puffed out her and bit her lower lips. Mimi and Naruto one thing. He watched her stand up and walk towards him, standing in front of him. He stared at her as she lifted her left hand up. Do you see this hand? Yeah, I'm not blind you know. What's missing from it? Naruto silently counted each finger to see if she wasn't missing any. I don't know. Nothing? No, you're wrong. Naruto carefully watched her right hand go up and point to her ring finger. There's no ring. Naruto raised a brow confused. So? Look, I'm pregnant with your baby and you promised to stay with me forever and you hadn't even proposed to me, she yelled. Sakura shook her head and tsked, kissed her lips, and crossed her arms. I don't mind, but I am not sleeping with you, touching you, or anything ever again until I see a ring on this finger. Sakura said, giving him side's glance. Naruto stared at her for a moment before a grin spread to his lips. So you're saying you won't do anything for me or do anything to me unless I propose to you? Yup, she exclaimed. Okay then, I didn't like you that much anyways. This is perfect. Sakura's jaw dropped as Naruto grinned and walked away from her. Hey, what do you mean by that, jerk? I'm saying I don't care. Flashback ends. Eventually, 1 week had passed and it was Saturday. The day Sakura and her friends would go and celebrate in a dinner party. Sakura got fancied up with her makeup and a dress, and then she left to the restaurant where the girls would be waiting. Although she was still depressed at what happened between her and Naruto. She never knew that he was like that. That he could be so much of a jerk. To Naruto. Hey Naruto, we going to start the plan? Yup, let's start this thing. Naruto yelled. Yosh. The other yelled, doing a fist pump. They went to the place where Sakura and the girls were having dinner and prepared to change Sakura's life forever. Naruto had a small box shoved in his jacket pocket. Sakura will so surprise. Kiba said as he walked beside his best friend. Of course she will be. Naruto smirked as he peered over the window and saw the 5 girls talking and laughing. They weren't so far away from the window and he swore Ino looked at him. He grinned and waved. To Sakura. Back at the restaurant, Ino knew what was going to happen because she made Shikamaru and Choji spill the beans. She knew something was going on, with Naruto ignoring Sakura and all. So Ino tapped on Sakura's should and pointed out the window. At this time almost everyone in the restaurant, and now including Sakura, looked out the window to see a group of guys out of the window in tuxedos. They all left except for Shino, who still stood there by the restaurant's window. Shino lifted up a poster that read, "Hey beautiful, you're the love of my life, so why don't you come out here and follow the arrows?" Sakura was shocked to see this sign that Shino was holding, but Ino encouraged her to go and see what was happening. Trust me Sakura, you won't regret this. So go already, Ino said as she was pushing her friend out of the door. So what's all this about Shino? Sakura asked. Just follow the arrows and you'll find happiness. He replied in his usual monotone voice. Okay then, Sakura started to follow the arrows. She was walking and then she saw Neji, who also had a sign. I remember the first day we met, you were in your nightgown. You looked so damn adorable I couldn't keep you out of my mind. Sakura blushed and continued to follow the arrows until she saw Kiba. Kiba's poster read, "And the day you told me you loved me, was the best day of my life. I will never forget that day. Congratulations," Kiba whispered, "you're almost there." Sakura blushed and continued to follow the arrows. She turned the corner to see the restaurant they ate at on their first date. The arrows were pointed to go inside the restaurant, so she did. As she got in, there was one employee and no other customers around. "You must be Sakura?" the worker said. "Yeah," she replied. "Please follow me." "Okay." Sakura follows the worker and she lead her up onto the balcony where she saw a dark figure standing out there. The worker giggled and said, "Good luck," and left. The dark figure slowly walked into the lighting. "Naruto? Hey Sakura." He uncovered another poster that he held behind his back and it read, "Sakura, you're the love of my life. You're carrying our future inside of you. You are my other half, without you I would be incomplete. So will you help me fill that gap and make me complete?" Sakura gasped as she brought her hands to her mouth and tears rolled down her eyes. Naruto got onto one knee and pulled something out of his pocket. It was a box. "Sakura, will you marry me?" he asked, revealing the engagement ring. It had a big diamond and surrounding it were multiple pink diamonds shaped as small cherry blossoms and a silver band attached to it. Sakura immediately leapt into Naruto's arms. "Yes, of course, Yubaka. I'm so happy, Sakura, this is the best day of my life." Naruto took the ring out of the box and slid it on Sakura's ring finger. "And Sakura, I'm really sorry about what I said before, I didn't mean it." "It's okay, but Naruto, why'd you say all those mean things before?" "Well, I thought that if you thought that I wasn't going to propose to you, then when I did propose to you it would be even more special and surprising." "Well, that's what Kiba told me anyways." "Naruto, Yubaka, you're taking love advice from Kiba?" Naruto gave her a cheeky grin and scratched his cheek. "Wasn't the best idea, was it?" "Duh." Sakura lightly hit Naruto in the head, then she looked at her hand which had the engagement ring on it and she began to cry again. She recognized this ring, she saw it before. Flashback. After lunch the two of us walked around town. I ended up buying some gifts. As we passed along something caught my eye. I quickly ran and headed to the window of a jewelry store. My eyes widened at the most beautiful ring I ever saw. It was an engagement ring. It had a big diamond and surrounding it were multiple pink diamonds shaped as small cherry blossoms and a silver band attached to it. It was absolutely gorgeous. Flashback ends. This ring, it's the one from back then. Yup, I knew you liked it so I bought it for you. Naruto kissed Sakura on the lips. "But, it was so expensive." Sakura's eyes widened. "Is that why you were so busy all week?" "Yeah, I was working triple overtime just to get you that ring." Sakura started to cry again. "Why would you work so hard for me?" Naruto nuzzled his face into her neck. "Because I love you. And I'll do anything to make you happy."
That's all for now. If you want to see next part, then please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.